Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Thanks for your support. You know the routine. Rep your city. I feel like we need to give these cities and these states, some respect. We live all the time. We in the chat talking, but the place we live at, hold down where you live at. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody at Twitch. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Kick. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on YouTube. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Facebook. I'm representing Chicago. So rep your city. You know what I'm saying? Let's give the city some respect. You know what I mean? We live in these cities and, we eat in these cities. We work in these cities. We raise our family in these cities. We have relationship in these cities. So give these cities some respect. You know what I'm saying? We got Harrisburg, PA in the building. We got the big NYC in the building. We got Baltimore in the building. What's up, RPM? We got OP in the building. I don't know what they represent, though. Boy, we got San Francisco, my brother Mo Power in the building. We got Big Houston, Texas. They got all the fine ladies, all the strong brothers in Texas. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in Texas. Texas is that spot. Y'all gonna stop slipping on Texas. Stop slipping on Texas. Texas is major out here. You got Houston, you got Dallas, you got San Antonio, you got big old cities in Houston. You know what I mean? In Texas. Texas is major. You know what I mean? The state of Texas is major. That's a major state right there. Illinois, I'm in Illinois. We only got Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got the Atlanta, Georgia in the building. We got New Orleans in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Richmond, Virginia in the building with the hardest working black woman in Virginia. Ain't no doubt about that. She always working. Boy, she know how to get a bag. You want to get a bag, you looking for a strong queen, you want to get a bag, you better holler at her, but she don't really play. You know what I'm saying? We got LA in the building. So, y'all, here I go. Now, this is the thing, y'all. And I'm going to have to say this a couple times. I hope I remember. You might say, Pharaoh, what's up with the live streams on Diddy? I always talk about things I think about a lot. And so I don't do it because the rest of the internet do it. And so if you see me with all these conversations about Diddy, it's because I'm really thinking about it, right? So this Diddy situation, I'm really pushing jail. Now let me explain. I'm pushing prison. I'm not pushing I want him to go to prison. I'm pushing prison as a result of what he was doing. I also want to break down the mental lapse that we be having before we go to prison or go to jail. Like I'm kid you not. Before we go to prison or go to jail, it really be something wrong with us. Any brother will tell you that's real is that if he went to jail or went to prison, especially prison, if he went to jail, now, not if he got to jail and got no bail, but anybody tell you that if they sat down 3 months, whether it's in the county jail or prison, anybody will tell you this. They feel like they wake up. I kid you not. When you get arrested, you don't wake up. You're just dealing with, dang, man, am I going to get a bond? I got to go to court. Why. If you get a high bond that you can't pay right away, or no bond, and you got to sit down in the county to your court date, anybody will tell you this when you're doing crime. You wake up like you've been asleep. If it's any brothers in here, would you tell them you wake up like you've been asleep? Listen, y'all, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You wake up, and I don't mean from being asleep at night. I mean you could be up already. You be up. So I don't mean wake up from sleep. I mean you wake up from a trance. You could be sitting in the day room playing cards or something, and then it'll just hit you. Boom. Bro, what was you doing? It hit you. You start looking at what made me think I wasn't going to go to jail for this. Look. I used to be driving around doing deliveries. And you know those little Memorex bags that you zip up? It's the little Memorex bag you zip up. I had a Memorex bag in my trunk, y'all. $380 in there and a whole bunch of work. Because I want to make all my deliveries. I don't want to keep running back and forth to Harvey. Bruh, I swear to God, y'all. One day I'm getting off the freeway. Boom. Off the Calumet, where you get off right there. If you're in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. Right there, you hit 95th and 95th and Jeffrey. That's where you be getting, no, Stony. The freeway get off at 90, and when I come over the thing, boom, it's the police there. I got all this shit in the trunk. It's the police, there's the state patrol, it's a roadblock. They stop the car in front of me. They tell the car in front of me, go over there. The car go over there, they open the car, they put the dog in the trunk. I pull up, he waved me through. Listen, y'all, I come off the freeway, boom, I hit right there, Stony Island. It's the state police, roadblock. They got the dogs to the right. The car in front of me, they tell them, go over there. I'm in this doggone Cadillac. Dayton's on it. And I pull up, and he waved me through. Do I quit? Do I have a wake-up moment and say, you know what? That was it. That was jail or prison right there. No. I keep on. When I finally did get a case, my bond was high. I didn't want to pay the bond and say I wasn't doing nothing. That works against me. So I'm gonna sit in here till they drop the bond. I gotta look innocent. Hey, I'm gonna sit in this county jail. I'm not gonna pay that bond. That bond, if I pay that bond, it's gonna make me look guilty. That bond, I'm not gonna get them no $25,000 and say I ain't doing nothing. Drop it down to $15,000. Drop it down to $150,000. All right, cool. Y'all, I swear to God, I'm sitting in the county jail. I'm sitting in the county jail like 1 month. I was in there 4 months, so it wasn't 3 months when I had the epiphany. It was about maybe 8 weeks. I'm sitting in the day room, and bam, It hit me. Fool, what was you doing? Bro, you was riding around with all that stuff. Now, I didn't get caught for riding around with all that stuff. I got in trouble another kind of way. It had nothing to do with that. But still, that's the epiphany I had. And it just hit me like, dude, you had lost your mind. Now, what has that got to do with Diddy? Diddy had lost his mind. I know for a fact that while Diddy been waiting for this case, he woke up out of a trance. Because when you look at the case and see what he's doing, he should have known he was going to prison. So when I see people saying, free Diddy, he ain't supposed to go to prison, I'm thinking you crazy. I'm thinking you crazy. He should have known he was going to prison. If he would have just thought just a little bit, he would know he going to prison. All he had to do was think. From the time I heard it, I knew he was going to prison. I was like, oh, he going to prison. But I could relate because I keep thinking about when I woke up in the day room in the Cook County jail. Like, oh my God, what the hell was I doing? It took me that long. I didn't wake up when I got arrested. I didn't wake up 1 week in the county jail, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It was like 8 weeks. And it just hit me. Bow! Fool, what was you doing? It hit me like it could have been worse. You know, it could have, like, I dodged the bullet. I mean, it was bad. I was looking at 8 to 40. But the way I got in trouble, it wasn't, you know, they didn't catch me. They went in our house and there was some stuff in our house and they tried to say it's mine, but it wasn't my house. You know what I'm saying? It was my wife's house. And my mail was still going to another house. All that's going to be in the book. So to get to the point I'm trying to make, because I had to explain that first so you can know where my mind is at. Like, to me covering this Diddy, I feel like I'm trying to save young brothers. I feel like I could use the Diddy case to scare young brothers to sit down and don't be doing crimes. So if you want to know, well, bro, what's your motivation? Are you happy to see the brother go to jail? No, we're not never happy to see no brothers go to jail. But I'm going to tell you some of the realest you never heard. That's why I'm the realest on the internet. Let's say I got 2 kilos. If I go get 2 keys, I know I'm breaking the law. I know this. I know I'm breaking the law. That's why we sneaking around. I know if I get caught, it's going to be even an expensive case, and it's a high probability I'm going to go to prison. So if I get caught with 2 kilos and I get sentenced and found guilty, don't be saying no free Pharaoh. Because to me, that don't make no sense talking about free Pharaoh. What you mean free Pharaoh? What you mean free? What you mean free Pharaoh? You using that in the wrong context. Free Pharaoh is like I'm some type of social protesting, or I'm standing up for some social issues or some shit. Or I'm arrested for something I didn't do. Then you go free Pharaoh. But if I knowingly went and I'm breaking the law and stuff, which it ain't gonna happen, but if it did ever happen, don't say free Pharaoh, please. If you want to make signs, say give Pharaoh less time or take it easy on Pharaoh. You know, I would appreciate that. Don't give him no harsh sentence. That I would like that. That'd make more sense. But free Pharaoh ain't gonna make no sense because Pharaoh jumped out the window. What you mean free Pharaoh? I took penitentiary chances. I rolled the dice. I crapped out. What you mean free Pharaoh? Pharaoh had 2 kilos. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not finna turn around now and be phony and be like, yeah, say free Pharaoh, because I'm always real. I'm the realest alive. That don't make sense to me. What you mean free Pharaoh? Now, if my son into it with somebody and I go somewhere and somebody there and I think it's a threat and I shot the guy and the guy died, then you could say, yeah, free Pharaoh, because that's like, could be self-defense or something like that. Yeah, free Pharaoh. But if I get out here like Diddy and I'm doing all this crazy shit, right? Right? If I'm like Diddy, come on, man. Come on. Am I certain he's going? No, I'm not certain he's going. No, I'm not certain he's going. I'm not certain he's going. I think he's gone. I think he's gone. He wanted to go. He moved like he should go. He was trying to go to prison. The stuff he was doing. Come on, bruh. You trying to go to prison. Who doing that? Bro, you should have been in jail and in prison. You beat up a woman in the hallway at a hotel with cameras everywhere. Bro, you trying to go to prison. He trying to go to prison. So what you want me to do? You want me to say free Diddy when Diddy trying to go to prison? He was trying to go to prison. He had lost his mind. But based on the case and all that, yeah, he going to prison. Yeah, he going to prison, man. Show me where you ain't going to prison when you get caught, and that's the evidence. Bro, you going to prison, and everywhere in the world you going to prison. Where you not going to prison, bro, with that? Every 9 months, no, 9 months not enough. 9 months not enough, Anthony. They go by the law, bro. They don't go by enough. They go by what's on the book. Boy, this is 5 to 15. This is that. Mine was 8 to 40. Enough is 8. Then they can determine if you're going to do the 40. This is not, Anthony, this is not like you pull no time out the air. Nah, bro. Felonies come with so many years, period. Felonies is not like, Fed with the feds. It's not like, no. It's by the book. 8 to 40, 3 to 10. The least you getting is 3. The stuff he was doing, come on, man. If they cut him all the mercy in the world, he doing 5 or 7, which they not gonna do. If a lot of them things they found him, he doing at least 10. Let me explain something to you. Like I said, I got young brothers watching me. Okay, all right. No, he's not getting no doggone probation with that. The feds don't do no probation. The feds don't do that. The feds don't do no probation. That's a state case. You might get probation. Hey, I'm trying to tell them, D. I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to tell them. If you doing crimes, you need to know if your crimes is state or federal. You need to know how much time you're going to get. Listen, y'all, I swear to God. I swear to God, y'all. So boom, they got me caught up. Boom, I go the first day to court. They bring me out. First time I go see a judge. This is where they're going to ask me if I got a lawyer. And this is what they're going to tell me everything what's going on. I don't know because you just been locked up. You don't know nothing. They just lock you up. You don't find out nothing until your first day at court. The police don't talk to you. I'm standing there. You know what the judge say? The judge say 8 to 40. Now, let me ask you a question. Who think I knew what I did carry 8 to 40? If you would have asked me that even the stuff they found I got caught with, how much time I do, I would have said no more than 4 years. I would say I'm gonna do about 4. They're gonna give me about 4, 5. I'd be out in about 3, 2.5, 3 on good time. When they said 8 to 40, what you think I was thinking? What? 8 to 40? Which means if the judge don't like you, you getting a 40. Yeah. If you got the wrong judge, you are getting the 40. If you got a kind of mean judge, you're getting a 25. If you got a lenient judge, you getting 10. You ain't never gonna get 8. I had no idea. I'm trying, hey, Knox. I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to help the young brothers. If Diddy go to prison, this could save a lot of brothers. Stop playing with these people. Look. When you go to try to get your cases expunged and stuff, you got to go get your criminal history data. Look at my goddamn criminal history data. Now it's for nonsense, marijuana and stuff like that, but it's a lot of gun charges on here. Okay? Look, way back from 1995, acting a fool from 95. Okay, no, it always started in 1976, all the way to 2000. All the way to 2000. And most of this is like cannabis possession. See? So this is all filed. Cannabis. Aggravated assault. Yeah, this one a lady lied on me and said I beat up and took her stuff. I swear to God. A woman called and said I beat up and took her stuff. Just straight lied on me. This shouldn't even be on here. Guess what? So I'm in the jail cell at Harvey. I'm telling them I didn't do that. She lied. She called the police while I was locked up and said, he back over here. You can't make this up. She called the police. She said, he back over here right now. He trying to beat me up and stuff. So the police came downstairs and say, we just got a call, say, back over here. The dude say, he in the cell right there. They said, go get her ass and lock her up. They was mad as hell. I said, I told y'all she was lying. I told y'all she was lying. She called us out, I was over there beating her up. But she had jumped on me because I was finna leave. I hadn't did nothing to that girl. I don't be fighting no damn ladies. Get the hell out of here. But it stays on your arrest record, even though it's not a decent case. Anyway, okay, look, firearm, controlled substance, firearm, unlawful possession of a weapon. Okay, carry, possession of firearm, uh, and other stuff. Unlawful weapon, and other miscellaneous crimes. Okay. And this is, you could see all my criminal cases that I had to get. So I don't want you to think I don't know what I'm talking about. You see all my criminal cases that and this is a bunch of them stapled together that I got expunged. You see, these are all expunged, no fee. All these got expunged. I went and cleaned up my record. You understand? I went and cleaned up my record. Yeah, she called the police on me again, Goshen, and said I was over there finna beat her up again. You know what I'm saying? Sin makes you stupid. I don't know. Breaking the law. I don't know if that's a sin. I don't know if God worked for the police. What's your name? Go taste and see. I don't know if God works for the police, but if you say so. But if you think God works for the police, you must be sinning, because that sounds stupid. You got to be sinning. She got to be sinning because that's stupid. Sin makes you stupid. I don't know. I know little kids that's stupid. I don't know. Breaking the law is not sinning, especially when the police is devils. Especially when you got demonic judges and police and racist police. And okay, so please stop. Especially in a European justice system that's about as evil as you can get. So saying breaking the law, because Rosa Parks was arrested for sitting down on the bus in your beautiful, heavenly white system, sweetie. Rosa Parks went to jail for just trying to ride the bus. So, your system, baby girl, is breaking y'all laws is okay. You know how y'all is. You know what I'm saying? You know how y'all are. Yeah, one thing about it is this. When you talk about the law, over here, guess who the police is? And guess who the judge and the jury is? Me. So I find you blocked, life blocked. Okay, I'm giving you a life sentence, blocked the hell from over here. Okay. Okay, so let it be written, so let it be done. Next case. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Don't come over here breaking the law, sweetie. Okay? Because I'm the judge and the jury, okay? Baby, bye. If you don't get your weird ass out of here. Yeah, I sentence you to 5,089 years blocked on YouTube. Next case. What happened to you? Oh, you a troll too? Oh, okay. Sit down. We'll call you back later. We'll call your case in a minute. Your attorney here? I'm trying to come over here. Try to tell me a bunch of weirdo stuff. Talking about sin. What she say? She said something. She said sin make you stupid. Let me tell you something. I'm super stupid because, I've been sinning with women. I've been sinning with women. So I am about as stupid as, I've been stupid for a long time. The way I've been sinning and carrying on out of wedlock. I am a sinner. For sure. I'm going to hell. Okay. I'm going to prepare my room. Because I'm going to hell. the things I done did with women, and it's just a shame. And I wasn't married or nothing. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 of them. You're not supposed to do that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm supposed to be under this. I'm going to hell for sure. According to y'all's sins, oh, I'm going to hell. Is eating coochie a sin? Because I'm fucked up. I'm going to hell. Hitting it from the back and all that. What's the sin? Because when I get with a woman I be trying to sin. I be trying to break all the commandments, all the sexual commandments. Yeah, I had to quit Christianity because it just didn't work for me. You know, under Christianity, I'm damned. My soul is damned under Christianity. I had to make me up a religion. I had to build my own church and make up a religion. I got the first church that ain't here trying to hear shit. I was trying to wait till he got married. Well, if it's sinning, if you got to wait till you get married, then I was going to hell in the 8th grade. Yeah, I was going to hell with the 8th grade. Me and Daphne went straight to hell in the 8th grade. Was that the 8th grade? Yeah, that was probably the 8th grade. I've been going to hell since the 8th grade. Yep, my soul been damned. Do I beat women? I beat the coochie up, but I don't hit no women. I don't be hitting women. See, let me tell you something. That's a great question, though. Me, okay, let me show you something. That's a great question. That's a beautiful question. I like that question. Let me show y'all something. We're going to keep it a Billy Willie. And then we're going to get back to Diddy. Me, what you got to understand about me is when I grew up, I was the oldest. And my sister was the youngest. This my daddy, this me, and this my sister. So I was taught I can't hit her under no circumstances. Because my mama told me if you hit a woman, you could hurt her and she might not be able to have no babies. And she got like soft parts on her body, so it scared me, right? Plus, that's my little sister, so I'm like the protector. I'm trying to make sure nobody else hit her. So I never hit women before. I was taught if my sister hit me, I had to go tell. So I had to go tell if my sister hit me. So when you grow up as a young man and you raised in a decent family, you taught like that, that's just something you don't do. So by the time I got in high school or got grown or something like that, you know, I couldn't hit a woman now because it just seemed like, how do you hit a woman? They seem to be soft. So it'll make me cringe. I wouldn't be able to hit no woman. Like, how you gonna hit a woman? Like, I look at them as delicate. How you gonna hit something delicate? That's kind of creepy. How you gonna hit a delicate woman? And she got breasts and all that. There ain't no dude. So nah, I don't hit women. I don't argue with women. I don't argue with women. You know what I'm saying? I don't argue with women. If I got a woman and she mad and stuff, my job is to try to calm her ass down. Babe, it ain't that serious. Babe, it ain't that serious. I don't, if I get mad at women, I just get quiet and go off to myself. If I get mad. If I get mad, I just get quiet. Because I'm not, but I don't get violently mad. I'm mentally mad. You understand? So I'm not answering a bunch of stupid questions. Your name, ooh. So I'm not going to ask no personal question. Your name, ooh. Like, come on. Your name, ooh. So now I don't hit women. And so for Diddy to be doing all that stuff that he was doing, you know, that's cringeworthy. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised, we didn't hit women. As a matter of fact, not only did I raise, we wouldn't hit women, you couldn't even fight nobody that wasn't your exact same age. I'm born 1958. So when I grew up, if you was in the 5th grade, if you was a boy in the 5th grade, the only person you could fight was another 5th grade boy. That's it. We didn't even fight. You sorry? No, you didn't. Oh, hey, sweetheart. Hey, see temptation. So we couldn't even fight outside our age category. So a 6th grader couldn't even fight me when I was growing up. You understand? Yeah, a 6th grader couldn't even fight me when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? We had to fight in our own age category, basically. And so, no, I never fought women or not like that. That sounds weird to me. I never, you know, as a matter of fact, I didn't fight nobody. You know, my generation, we stopped fighting by the 6th grade. I think the last fight I had was like the 6th grade. We didn't fight like that. We wasn't like the later immature generation. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't even fight, period. I didn't have a fight since grade school. Even with a boy. We didn't fight like that. I grew up, we were very mature, very extremely mature. There was no fights at my high school. There was no fights. There was no fights in my neighborhood once we got a certain age. Only little boys fought when I was growing up. The only people used to fight when I was growing up is 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. Maybe 5th grade, you're starting to stop. Only little boys used to fight. You never seen big boys fight. You never seen 7th, 8th graders, high schoolers fight when I was growing up. The only people used to out there fighting, I hit you in your eye though, but I hit you in your nose though, but I bust your lip though, was little kids. I can only tell you what I know. I can't tell you about no other person's lifestyle. I was born in 1958. So we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, you couldn't be no bully. When I was growing up, you couldn't be no bully. No, you couldn't be no bully. If you was older and you mess with somebody, one of the older people gonna check you. So I don't know nothing about bullying. We didn't have that. I think some of y'all are younger than me. I'm 67. I was born in 1958. We didn't have bullies. It was totally, you could not mess with anybody who wasn't in your age category. That was absolutely, totally unacceptable. That could not happen. That was a total violation in the early 60s. Oh yeah, that was a total violation in the early 60s. That was unheard of. 5th graders got to fight 5th graders. 6th graders got to fight 6th graders. 4th graders got to fight 4th graders. So in the Diddy situation now, back to Diddy. Diddy's going to prison. They got 4 charges that they'd agreed on, right? Right? They got 4 charges that they agreed on. They still trying to figure out the racketeering. But the fact they came back with those charges that fast, in the streets, that means you're guilty. Now, some lawyers going to say that's not what it means. In the lawyer world, that's not what it means. In the lawyer world. But in the streets, if you got a case and they come back that quick with 4 charges, yeah, you gone. You going bye-bye. So they said they was sad and they was kind of trying to console him. Everything they saying about his mode sound like he got the bad news. And all they waiting on is to try to figure out the RICO charge. But he's definitely going, from what I'm hearing, yeah, he's going to prison. But I mean, he did prison stuff. He did stuff to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as great a businessman as y'all think he was. He was not a good businessman. What do I mean by he's not a good businessman? If you're a businessman and you want to film women doing acts, then you got to register that as a movie. If he would have registered those footage and stuff as a movie, he would have been fine. But you have to register those sex acts as a movie, which is different paperwork, different form of registration. You have to be licensed. You have to let them know exactly what you're doing in business. You can't start a business and say you're selling t-shirts and hats and stuff and then sell beverages. Because they're going to say, oh, no, that's not the business you started. If you was going to start, you just filled out 58192. If you was going to sell beverages, you should have filled out form 61358, right? And so for everything you do in business, you have to fill out the correct forms, and you have to apply that business under that type of business. And so if you're not registered as a business to shoot porn and you shoot it and you go across state lines to shoot it, bro, that's trafficking. You're going to prison. He was trafficking. Most people think trafficking mean I got some girls. But if you a dude and I have you come across state line to do this, that's trafficking. Period. He was breaking all kinds of laws. People just don't understand the law. You had no legal, and you know, they supposed to get him for fraud. I don't hear no fraud charges. They're giving him a break. They're giving him a break. If you buying illegal substances or all type of substances with a card that say Frank Black, and there is no Frank Black, you know what would happen to you if you wasn't him and you had a fake credit card that said Frank Black and your name Maurice Williams or your name Sean Cone and you got a credit card say Frank Black, but you'll be under the prison. That fool had a credit card say Frank Black. That fool they giving him a break. Because Diddy's supposed to do the rest of his life at that age. Yep. Yep. Yep, he's supposed to do life. You know what I'm saying? For that. Real talk. Sean G, no. He said he ain't with reparations. No. The hell with Sean G. He said no reparations. His name can't be mentioned. I don't mention him over here. He a op. Yeah, he's a nobody over here. Because whatever he was covering, he should have stayed in that. He should have never jumped into reparations. He'll appeal. Yeah, he'll appeal. But he didn't beat that woman up in the hotel all in the hallway. He didn't did all this foul stuff. He a rich black man and he playing in these people's system where he done forgot. You know these black people see temptation. They forget. He thought he had money. He thought he wasn't black no more. Yeah, he thought he wasn't black no more. He forgot. He forgot. You know what I'm saying? How long I think he going for? With big money like that, being a millionaire, being a possible billionaire like that, hating on the liquor company, making enemies. He might do 20. They might give him 20. He's not their friend, you know. Yeah, he might do 20. He forgot he was black. It's a bunch of men in the jury, and most people seen it was men in the jury, and they thought, well, if it's men in the jury, they'll take it easy on them. Men in the jury. Well, if he get the RICO, he doing life. He doing 50. That last charge they ain't got. If he get that, yeah, he gonna do life. He gonna live. He gonna be in jail till he pass away. But based on the before they found him, that allegedly he might be found guilty. He might do 10. He might do 20. He might only do 5, depending. But if he get that RICO, he gonna do the rest of his life. They're gonna do the rest of his life. Yeah. Basically. So that's why we're talking to this like young black men. You know, just don't play with these people. Don't get out here doing stuff when you don't know the consequence of what you're doing, and then when you find out the consequences, you're all shocked. When you find out you done flew across state lines with somebody and did something, and then you find the law out later. You know, you find the law. That's why they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So he could get anywhere. You know, he could just get 15. He could get some type of break or whatever. He could get some type of break, but, you know, he's done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's done. You know what I'm saying? They way ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? Playing with these people. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? They already got the next case waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? You see all this stuff happened on the 27th? The 27th, a couple days ago? Remember on the 27th? And 27th, they did all that before they went to deliberate. And guess what they dropped on the 27th? Guess what happened on the 27th? He hit with a lawsuit, him and his son. Hit with a lawsuit on the 27th. Hit with the lawsuit on the 27th. Boom, right before when they went to deliberate. Hit him and his son with the lawsuit. Boom, they're going to come back with the criminal charges. Then they're going to hit him probably with the Tupac conspiracy. You know, because brothers act like they don't know where they at. You know, they act like they can't see. You know, they act like they don't know how this go. You know, he gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna hit him back. Boom, they gonna hit him. You know what I'm saying? They got bro in Vegas telling everything, saying Diddy paid for the Tupac hit. Boom. They probably gonna hit him with the Biggie Smalls too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Darnell, you don't know nothing about the law. All I can tell you, Darnell, if you do this stuff, you're going to get more time than him. He don't know. He might be some fan, or he might work for them or something. They might be paying him to troll. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who that is. He don't know. Darnell don't know what he's talking about. You know, you don't waste time with people like that. Darnell don't know nothing. If Darnell did this stuff, he'd get life. You know what I'm saying? Darnell, you don't know who that is. When y'all on this like that, you don't know who these people are. That might not be his real name or nothing like that. So don't engage with him. Don't engage. You don't know who this is. This the internet. They got all kind of trolls and fake people over here. He don't know what you're talking about. He could be a fan. You know, fans. Then he don't know nothing about. If he is a real person, he don't know nothing about no Fed cases. Y'all think he knows something about a Fed case? Just the fact that people even believe that there was even a possibility that he gonna be the Fed case tell you everything. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that know the law know when the feds come get you, you're gone. The feds, the feds don't pick up a case until they got you. This is not a state case. It's not a state. And so, I'm not going to talk to some civilians about this. Anybody in the streets know when the feds come get you, you're gone. They don't come get you until they don't come get you fast. You know what I'm saying? The feds come, you gone. So if he beats this case, it'll be extremely, 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 extremely rare. He would be part of the 5% that beat the case compared to the 95% that lose. So just think about that. 95% lose. So to bet that he gonna be the 5%, he said time served. You see, this is the internet. So on the internet, you talking to a lot of people that don't know none of this. They don't know nothing about crime. They don't know nothing about cases. They don't know nothing about the feds. They just internet people. The feds don't do time served. That's state. And he ain't did enough time for be time served. They just civilians jumping in a lane. They don't know what they're just civilians. That's why I showed you all my cases and shit. You know what I'm saying? Those civilians. You ask them how many cases you got. They got no case. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm glad you don't either. As long as you just understand, Troy, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? That's all. As long as you understand that part, that you're just wasting your time because you don't know what you're talking about. And I don't really want you talking to my audience, giving them false information because you're not qualified. You're not qualified to talk to them. You'll mislead people and you'll get brothers locked up. These people that's trying to make it easy on Diddy is going to get young brothers locked up. Don't y'all listen to him. This is not a joke. You play with these people, they're going to lock you up for a long time. That's the reason I'm over here. I'm trying to use this case to help black men. Play with these people and you going bye-bye. Okay? The prisons are full. And the prisons are not full because they cutting breaks. Okay? The prisons are full because they are not playing. So young black men find something legal to do. And if you absolutely got to do crime, you need to look up how much time you're going to get. If you are going to do crimes, you need to look up how much time you're going to get. And the idea that you're a black man and you're going to go into an American justice system and you're going to get a break, if you're black and you're over here teaching that, you haven't learned anything. If you black and you think he going to get a break, you haven't learned anything. You definitely don't know where you're at. You don't know where you at. You understand? Now, Trump, my partner, that's the best thing he got going for him. Trump, my partner. Because for some money, Trump will let him go. But he's going to have to pay him when he get out. So for some money on the side, on the back end, you know, a good 200 million, Trump will let him go. So it might not be over for him. You know what I'm saying? Trump will let him go. So it's not necessarily the end of him. I can't say all that. Money talks and BS walks. But they gonna do him and grab him again. They gonna do him and grab him again. That's all. That's all they're gonna do. When they get after you, and you've been doing a lot of dirt, and they get after you, you know what I'm saying? Look at Lil Boosie. They still, you know what I'm saying? When you get too big for your britches, and they put that bullseye on you, they just keep coming. They keep coming till they get you. And obviously, if you look at him, he was extremely sloppy. It's amazing how some people is giving him an excuse with all that money being that sloppy. It seems like a black person would be like, bro, you was making too much money for that foolishness. Everything they accusing him for, he was making too much money, right, for any of that. He's supposed to get 3 years just for being stupid. Who gonna work that like that to get in that position and do that type of entertainment like that? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand too that it's perverts that be in the chat. So now other pervs, they gonna support him. You understand that? That some of these people supporting him, you know, need to be investigated themselves. You understand? Because birds of a feather flock together. So when you see some of these brothers that's so hell bent that he innocent, you have to ask yourself, well, what kind of life is you living? But see, the jury was mostly men, and that's his problem. And white. So you say, well, why was men his problem if he's a man? Let me break down some psychology to you. Men, their most precious thing for a man is his daughter. A man loves his son. His son is like his pride. But his daughter is the number one thing he protects. The number one thing we protect as men is our daughter, then our wife. The wife is behind the daughter because the wife is an adult and our daughters be babies. And so if you get a bunch of men in the jury and they see you doing that to women and they got daughters, you're going to prison. Let me tell you something. If you get men, he have a better break with women. But if he get men, and men see you doing stuff to these women, men are not going to think about their wives. Men are not going to think about their sister. Men going to think about their daughters and their nieces. They're going to think about the female, the little female, and they're going to think, well, dang, if he would have did that to little Cassandra or did that to little Sally, that's how men going to think. Men protect women. You understand? You understand? So he says, like, we happy to see our people go to jail, almost like a parade. Well, some people would say that those that want them to be free is happy with our people being abused. It's all how you look at it. Some would say, Story, that the people that's just hollering for his freedom don't have no problem with abuse and crime against their own people. They don't have no problem with him mistreating his own people. It just depends on how you look at it. Some people would say that if you want to see him go free, you're for the detriment of your own community and you're upholding the man that was doing people dirty, that you back in abuse. That's what some people would say about you. They would say you supporting degrading women. That's what some people would say. I mean, some people would say you want him to get a slap on the wrist for degrading women. That's what people would say. Some people would say you cool with him beating up Casey in the hallway. That's what people would say. They would say you're ruining the black community. I mean, that's what I would say. I would say somebody like you is one reason we got so much crime in the community, because you ain't standing on nothing. You don't want to clean up the community. You're a celebrity worshiper. I would also say most likely you're phony. What's your name again? Story. I would say that you doing that because he's rich. If it was a poor person, you'd want him in prison. I'm willing to bet that. I'm willing to bet you got mercy for him because he's a celebrity. If he was just a regular person, you wouldn't be saying that. That a lot of y'all starstruck. So because it's Diddy and he's a star, you want him to get away with something that your own son couldn't get away with, that your own father couldn't get away with, that the regular person on the block couldn't get away with. If any regular person would have did that, they would have went to jail years ago. But he had the money to protect them. A poor person or a hard-working person doing that wouldn't have been able to hide all that corruption. They would have been under the jail. How many police you think he paid off to not go to prison? What happened to the fingerprints from Kid Cudi? Y'all think them fingerprints just disappeared when he rich? Y'all don't believe that he possibly paid for them fingerprints from the firebomb in the car? Y'all don't believe he possibly paid for that to disappear? Now let a poor person would have set that car on fire that don't have the money for the fingerprints to just disappear. You understand? You say, he say, listen, he say, I just know it's about justice. It's about wealth and power. They don't care nothing about case. She was willing to participate. No, that's not how law works. Y'all listen to me. The law works one kind of way. let me tell you something. The law works one kind of way. You could do whatever you want to do, but don't let them find out. You can sell all the illegal substances you want. You can do all the crimes you want to do. This is the law in the United States. But do not let them or the public find out. Meaning this, let's say I'm selling illegal substances out of my house. And people come into my house, I'm selling illegal substances. And one of the neighbors see it. And one of the neighbors complained to the police. I'm going down. Because I have now let somebody know what I'm doing. The neighbors have seen it. And now I got to go. Once you get their attention, you're gone. So you have to, whatever you're going to do, you cannot let the law get their attention. And Diddy was sloppy. This is a fact. Just totally sloppy. Because Diddy was breaking the law and he was using substances which makes him out of his mind and not sharp. So you can't do crimes and be high out your mind or drunk. Because if you're doing crimes, that's just like any other business. A criminal got to be sharp. A criminal can't be getting drunk and sloppy and high. That don't go together. You're going to prison. So when he started using like that, he was done. He was sloppy. He was sloppy because he was high. How could you do all that and be high? It doesn't work like that. It don't work like that. Diddy sent himself to prison. Okay? Anytime you get busted for crimes and they show that this is what you was using, bro, you going to prison. Okay? This is for all his fans, all y'all over here cheerleading. What y'all think about this list? This is what he was using. This don't say, please lock me up, that I done lost my mind. This is the list of stuff he was taking. Does this look like somebody that don't want to go to prison? Most of this stuff is a federal crime to even have it. Do you know how much time you'll get if you get caught with Tusi? Do you know how much time you get if you get caught with Xanax and it's not, and you bought it with a fake name? Do you know how much time you get if you have prescription pills and you bought it under the name Frank Black and not under your real name? Do you know how much time you'll get for the coke, for the GHB, for the ketamine if you bought it under a fake name? Do you know you cannot possess MDMA at all? You know how much time you get for having that? This means you want to go to prison, okay, on the streets, okay? For those that all want to learn something and really learn the facts, go check out my brother and learn the facts, okay? Tell him Pharaoh sent you over there. Go subscribe to Hood Educated and get yourself hood educated. Okay? Get yourself hood educated. Go watch somebody that know about the justice system, that know about these streets. If you don't want to listen to me, go listen to my brother. Tell him Pharaoh sent you. Go listen to somebody that's wise, that knows about the streets. That's not gonna sell fake stuff. Somebody gonna keep it right down the middle. So go subscribe to Hood Educated. That way you ain't gotta take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? He got the weapons with the serial numbers shaved off. He's supposed to get 20 years just for that. They're giving him all kind of breaks. They are giving him breaks just on the weapons with the serial numbers filed out. You get caught with that, you're looking at a 20 piece, which they'll cut you a break for 10, 15. For those type of weapons he had, that's what tripped me out, to see citizens standing up for him. But if you get caught with that and you're a regular citizen and you ain't no rich celebrity, you're going bye-bye. And if you did all that together, you're going to get 50. If one of y'all over here that's not famous, that ain't rich, get caught with all that stuff, you're doing 50 years. You're doing 50. All these people that say free Diddy, if they get caught with them weapons, with the serial and all that stuff, and the Frank Black card, they letting a lot of stuff slide. But if it was you, you're doing 50, possibly life, because a RICO could get you life in prison. You flew across the state lines and shot those type of things and paid male prostitutes to travel across state lines to shoot that stuff, you will do 50 to life. You would do 50. You would do 50 to life. This is why when you're in the streets, you're going to hear brothers say, when you hear brothers say a Fed case. I know y'all civilians, so you don't understand the streets. When we say Fed case, that's why a state case could get you 25. I had a state case, I was looking at 8 to 40. A Fed case, let's take a break, man. Let's take a break, and we'll talk about it some more, okay? Young brothers, listen to me. Don't let nobody hype you up and make you think this ain't no big deal. This is a real big deal, okay? Stop playing. Don't play with the police. Now, for the young brothers and sisters watching me, let me tell you something else. When you catch a case, it's not just a case. It's not just you just got a case. You're also in between a war for brownie points between the defense and the prosecution. You're in the middle of another game. Now, in this case, you got the federal prosecution and they got Diddy. Do you know how bad they want that feather in their cap? We talking the federal government. You don't forget that it's three elements involved. It's Diddy, it's the defense, and it's the prosecution. When you got a Fed case and you go get a defense attorney is thinking money. The defense attorney thinking you're going to lose. So let me just get the bag. The defense is thinking their win is not to beat the case. Their win is to try to get you as least time as possible. That's going to be a win for them. So if he do a 15, then Steele and all them look good because he's supposed to get 50 to life, right? This is how the defense thinking. The defense thinking about their own career. They don't give a damn about Diddy. And they already know when they decide to take the case, they might be taking an L. Now, they don't like to lose because it's on their record, but because it's Diddy, it's not going to hurt them. And they can make it be a win for them by getting them as less time as possible. Steele can go and go back to court to try to get it thrown out so they can make it work. But you guess how much you got to pay them? Guess how much he paying? Listen, guess how much he paying his defense? More than he would pay for anything else. He's paying an arm and a leg. So they win. They getting a bag, regardless what happened to you. They getting paid. That's the first thing. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. So they getting paid. Period. And what they're going to try to do is, they feel like you're going to lose, but what they're going to try to do is make you not lose so bad. They're going to look at it like he's supposed to get 50. He's supposed to get life. We some good defense attorneys. Let's try to get him 15. If we get him 15, he'd be back out on the streets in 7. We look good. That's how the defense looking at it. The prosecution looking at it like this. We need that guilty, period. We the United States government. We need that. United States government, we need that. Yeah, Diddy. Got him. That's what they on. They on this. We need that. We need you in prison, bro. Yeah. That's the prosecution is like, we need you in prison. You ain't talking about no regular, you're talking about the United States government prosecution. They want you in prison. Period. This is the United States government. This ain't no state case. This ain't YSL. That was state. That's why some people mixed up, because they just watch YSL. They think this is the same thing. Well, my job is to help young brothers. Listen, if you out here and you watch me and you're doing little crimes, find out if it's federal. Listen, find out if it's federal. Because federal and state, it ain't the same, baby. It ain't the same. Like in state, you got felony, you got misdemeanor. Misdemeanor, a ticket. You got a ticket, you got misdemeanor. Misdemeanor and felony, two different things. Well, state and federal is night and day. The state pull me over, find me with some stuff, bow, find it in my trunk, take me to court, build a case. The feds don't do that. The feds build a case first. The fed get witnesses first. The fed get evidence first. And when they got you, then they come and get you. So it's not like a state case. when they come get you, you're cooked already. Now, people are going to watch me, and you're going to say, this case look weak in this, because you don't understand the Fed law. You don't understand the feds. The Fed law is different. They rules is different and strict. It's not nothing that a citizen will understand. You will not understand a federal case. And so when the jury finally go to decide if he's guilty, they explain to the jury Fed law. And that's when the jury realized, oh, see, they explain to the jury when they go to deliberate about the situation. This is Fed law. If you do this and this, that's illegal. If you do this and this, that's illegal. That's when you at a jury go, oh, whoa, whoa. So that little stuff that you citizens looking at, you don't know what you're looking at in terms of Fed law. Because you're used to looking at TV crimes. So you don't know when the big statement is made in the case. I'll give you an example of a big statement in the case that'll get you long time. The Punisher. I'm not going to let y'all know that's what's going to get him locked up. I'm going to do it in a way where it don't seem like nothing. So they're going to be like, where you live at? Like, well, I live in Texas. Now, when you came to the freak off, that was in Cleveland, Ohio? Yes. You flew to Cleveland, Ohio? Yes. Did you have intercourse with Cassie? Yes. How much did you get paid? I got paid $1,000 the first time, $1,000 the next time. Boom, that's it. You're done. Prostitution, human trafficking. So these people are saying, no, they don't know none of that. The feds don't come out and say, and show you the crime. They do, they show you they don't show you the crime. You never know that was a crime the way they ask. When they asked dude how much they paid you, and he admitted to getting paid, and he flew in to get paid, you're going to prison for that. You're going to prison for that. But that's why people don't think it's serious, because the feds don't show you it's serious. The feds' job is to find you guilty in a way nobody know they just found you guilty. The only people know they found you guilty is the defense or the lawyers. Even the jury don't know they found you guilty with that. So that's when, before you deliberate, that's when they go explain to you the federal law, and that's when you realize, oh, so when dude flew, oh, wow. So the jury don't know what you did until they explain to them the law. What carry how much years? What do you do to get this? And that's when the jury realized what they just been watching. Oh, so you mean when he flew, that's so, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, guilty. What? Guilty. That's how they get you. The jury don't know he guilty until they get back there and they explain to them federal law. You're just thinking, oh, they handed this person these illegal substance, he handed that. No, that's dealing. They're going to say that's dealing. I don't know. I don't know how much you're going to get. We still got if they come back with the RICO, he gone. They got 4 charges allegedly, and that one they trying to deal with is the RICO. If they find him guilty of the RICO, and Diddy what up 50, yeah, he gone. He gone. Bye bye. They say you'll know by the end of this week, and it's Tuesday tomorrow. Man, you're gonna know tomorrow. You're gonna know tomorrow. You're gonna know tomorrow. Listen, you know what's going against him? You know why they finna find him guilty quick? It's the 4th of July. Them people ready to go home. Without the RICO, he could be looking at 15 to 20, something like that. You know what I'm saying? He looking at serious case. The feds don't got no little time. See, that's why I try to say, that's what I'm trying to say, the streets. I'm trying to tell y'all the streets. As soon as you say the feds mean no little time. Y'all just don't understand when we say the feds, when the streets say the feds. The feds is a way to say a long time. So when y'all hear a brother say it's a Fed case, that mean a long time case. You're only gonna get them short years with the state. You're not getting no little short time with the feds. It's a Fed case. A Fed case mean bye-bye. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, life. The feds mean bye-bye. Fed time, bro. I'm trying to tell them, Cool J. Seven and up with the feds. And he got how many charges? So it's already in up. They need to retry for count 1. Not yet. They still deliberating over count 1. They liable to come back tomorrow with him guilty on count 1. It's not over. They was told to go back in there and keep talking about it. When they go back, that means the judge tell you go back. Go back and look at 1. Other than that, they would have found him today. No. No, it's not. No. No, you don't get to just walk out of there. No, this is a Fed case. Go in there and keep looking at 1. They liable to come back tomorrow guilty on all charges. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's the feds. It ain't only that, it's the feds, man. Everything the feds do is more serious. It's not like the state. The judge is different. Everything is different with a Fed case. Everything is different. Most people just know state cases. The average citizen don't understand what we saying when we saying feds. People like me that did crimes, people that do crimes is terrified of the feds. Terrified. They got Al Capone went and got him back on tax evasion. He died in prison down there. Oh, the way the Fed joint is set up? The Fed joint is set up like this. If they find him guilty, they ship him to Texas. Boom, his family got to go all the way from New York to Texas to see him. After about 7, 8, 9 months, then they send him to Dakota. Now your family got to fly all the way to Dakota to see him. After so long, they ship him to Florida. So you ain't getting no regular visits like that. You being shipped all around the country. And then what he's accused for, and you going to prison with men ain't seen no women in a minute, and you like baby oil and stuff, bro, you getting extorted and you getting ran through. They running through dude. Hey, wow, I'm just trying to help these young brothers to just let them know they don't know. You understand? Even your lawyer, when you catch a Fed case, your lawyer gonna be looking at you like, yeah, he went for 18 months on a RICO conspiracy. But see, Diddy, no, you right. You right. You right. In some cases, you could get some type of little break. It's a Fed case. It's whole 5 years or something. They give you a break. But you know how many charges did he have? Diddy had how many charges? They dropped so many charges. He still got 5 charges. Dude didn't have 5 charges. So in the case of rapper Peasy, he did a federal crime, but didn't have a lot of charges. So then, boom, you know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing but something small. Because in most cases, if you're doing federal crimes, you're doing a lot of them. You know, hey, Tim, in most cases, if they bust your dough down and you selling, you got X pills, you got this, you got that, you got, you know what I'm saying? So in most federal cases, most criminals breaking a lot of laws. So like me, when I got busted with state, it was a gun. They let me go for the illegal bullets. I had the black talons, I think that I had the police bullets. I wasn't supposed to have them. They let me go for that. Then I had 3 other things. So I didn't get busted for one thing. I had stuff. So most of us, you know, most people when you're doing crimes, you're doing a lot of crimes. Cause like sometimes one crime is like 3 crimes. Like one crime could be 3 crimes. You can get possession, transporting, and sales. You know, like that. That's how the feds is crazy. So like you're doing prostitution and the feds bust you for prostitution. They gonna bust you for the prostitutes. They gonna bust you for the money. You know, they gonna bust you for the money because she made money that you ain't paid no taxes on. They could bust you for tax evasion. They could stack on your ass. They giving Diddy a break. They got way more on Diddy. They just ain't doing it. They got him for tax evasion if they want. They just ain't doing it. He made money he didn't tell them. That's crap. Like y'all don't understand. They real petty. They still showing him some love. I'm telling you. They still giving Diddy a little bit of a break. Still. But now they're gonna go arrest his sons. His son's going to prison. Unless it's bad past the statute of limitation. It's not over. And the Tupac and Biggie stuff, you know, M's is no end to M's. That's forever. And they got dude in Vegas singing like a bird, saying Diddy the one paid the $1 million to Von Zip. They saying Diddy gave the check. They synced the check. So he getting that case. That case is coming. Diddy's looking at the Tupac and the Biggie murder cases. Diddy is finished. And the feds will stack all that up. Hey, man, the feds will stack that up. Say, first, let's grab him for this. Man, the feds will stack those cases. They won't necessarily hit you with all the cases they got on you. They'll hit you 1, 2, 3. It's the feds. That's why nobody like messing with the feds. You're messing with the ATF, FBI. They can go get help from the CIA and get information that the CIA can't bring to court, but they can. Lying to them is illegal. Lying to them is illegal. They're going to come to me if I'm dealing with some people. They say, listen, Pharaoh, you're going to do 30 or you're going to talk. That's on you. We want to take your man down. You can make it easy for us to take him down. But if we got to do the hard work and we got to take him down on our own, we're going to have to use you as evidence to take him down. Now, you can either give us the evidence we can take him down, or you could be the evidence. You can even give us the stuff for us to build a case, or you can be in the conspiracy. And then they're going to show me, this is you, Pharaoh, doing this. This is you here. This is you there. This is you on the phone. Play the phone message back when he was talking. Yeah, man, I got it. They're going to play the phone with me running my mouth. They're going to show the pictures of me with the stuff. Man, if y'all could see the stuff that they showed his lawyer and showed him, you wouldn't believe it. They're not letting us see. If y'all, listen, this is what a lot of people don't understand about that case. Everybody that testified in him was Cody's. So some people saying, well, how he got a RICO when it's just him? He got the RICO because all of them is in the RICO. Casey's in the RICO. The unidentified so-called chick is in the RICO. The Punisher is in the RICO. All of them is in the RICO. Then they allowed them to turn state's evidence against the boss. In other words, if Casey and them didn't get on the stand, they was going to be charged. All of them are part of the RICO. So a lot of people thinking that it was him against Casey. No, Casey got a problem. Or Cassie. I keep calling her Casey. Cassie is a part of the RICO. All of them is turning state's evidence. All of them were arrested. Cassie was arrested. The one that got the baby by the rapper was arrested. D-Rock was arrested. They probably just didn't use him. The bodyguard was arrested. All of them was secretly arrested. All of them was arrested. Kid Cudi wasn't arrested. He's a real witness, and some of the others. But all of them, Cassie was a part of the RICO. She was looking to go to prison. They was going to lock her up if she didn't testify. She was going to prison. Those are co-defendants. That's why it seems so weird. That's why people didn't understand what they was looking at. They didn't understand that Cassie is a co-defendant, is a Cody. The little Asian chick They say he hung over the balance. It's a Code E. The guy they didn't bring in, that was the natural doctor that they was getting all the substances from. Y'all don't think they arrested him? He was nowhere in the trial. Why? Because he told. Y'all really think that man had a place and did all that, the place they kept calling the One Stop? Y'all don't think the people that was providing this stuff got arrested? Oh, whoever provided this stuff got arrested. And they told. They told everything they know. And they let everybody go to get Diddy. Do I think he was going to get? Yes. 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 Because that's not the freak offs. They ran in this place. They took all the evidence to protect the super rich. And then they made a small case to protect the super rich and made y'all think that what they showed y'all was the freak offs. When all of us got knowledge, know the freak offs was a whole lot of people. All of us got knowledge, know that hotel where he beat her up was full of people and they had all checked out. Those rooms was empty. He out in the hallway beating her up. Why nobody came out their room? Because everybody had left already. And she was running away with the evidence on who they recorded. That was recordings being sold on the dark web. And there's a lot of people was on them recordings. And they trying to protect them people and slam him. I personally believe he got mad and he threatened somebody. Like he did, remember? Cassie, remember he told her, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to show your mama and I'm going to show everybody the tapes I got on you. So common sense tell me if he threatened her with extortion, who else did he threaten? Who else did he threaten? If you don't do this, I'm going to show what you did at the party. So I believe he threatened somebody and they called the FBI and say, listen, this guy Diddy got tapes of me and stuff and he threatened me. And he got a lot of people. So they ran in the house. They grabbed all that stuff. Then they waited all that time for they grabbed him to get all that in line and make sure they got as much of the stuff they can. Diddy, like a fool, got on the phone and told his son, did you get rid of the pizza boxes? Now, if you know anything about Pizzagate, then you will understand the fact he said pizza. Show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Because he asked the son, you get rid of the pizza boxes. If you know anything about Pizzagate, then you would know why it's deep. Why would they call it pizza boxes? And what was the pizza boxes? What was that? To the point where he know they listening. Did he know they listening? But he got to make sure, regardless if they listening or not, did you get rid of the pizza boxes? Because ain't nobody would say that unless it was a 911. Why wasn't Mia and his assistant KK not too afraid to testify? Because you're going to be more afraid of the feds, bro. You're going to be afraid of the feds. You're not going to be afraid of Diddy at all. When the feds come, you're going to be afraid of the feds and you're going to talk. Sammy the Bull, was more afraid of the feds than he was John Gotti and them. The feds is the most scariest thing in your life, bro. It's the federal government. There's no mob as big as the federal government. It's the federal government. The federal government could grab your wife, can grab everybody that did something wrong. They could ruin not just you, your whole family. They could be like, Pharaoh, your son doing this, your wife did this one doing that. Now we ain't got to go grab all them. But I mean, if you force our hand, we'll take your son in prison. We'll take everybody you know to prison for everything they did. Oh, look, your taxes, they'll bring up the taxes. This is tax evasion. Your father tax evasion. Your father didn't file his taxes. So we're going to take his house. It's the feds. They play hardball. All the witnesses talk except two. You just wonder why those two didn't talk. Because the feds didn't care. The feds had enough. See, it's like the feds, if the feds is watching me while and they investigate me and they get boom, 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 and they got me, you know, all that other stuff is cool. But the feds is like, they only interested once they got you. You know, then they cool. They don't got to overget you. You know what I'm saying? Once they got you, that's all they interested in, to get the information to get you. And once they got you, they don't need all that information. Once they say, okay, with this right here, Pharaoh got to do 50. So we don't need all these charges going to get him 200 years. We'll go with the 50. We got him with 50. What about the wife? So, 10 here, there. We don't need that. We got him with the 50. Let's go get him. Because you ain't going to have to come in and testify. We got his ass. We got him without you. You know what I'm saying? It's the feds. It's the feds. I can't. That's why I'm telling young brothers. The moral of the story, what I'm telling you brothers is, do something legal. Because if you do something illegal, you're not going to have the knowledge to know if it's state or federal. And you're not going to know how much state time this crime carry or how much time this federal crime carry. Most criminals don't know that. And most criminals think they slick and think they're going to get away. And it's not till you caught that you realize you're not that slick. It's not till you caught before you find out what these crimes are. What are these crimes that you're doing? Is this a Fed case? And a lot of brothers don't understand that. I got a friend, he probably still in there. They surrounded the whole neighborhood when they went and grabbed him. But for sure, if you cross state line, you're going bye-bye. If anything, cross state line. If you're buying guns and they came from Indiana to Chicago, that's federal. Because that's two different states. You going bye-bye for a long time. You going bye-bye. And now it depends on who got your case, how mean he is. If he's real mean, he going to max you out. If he's not that mean, he'll give you 15, give you 10. It depends on who's the Fed prosecuting. Do we got a hard on for you? You know what I'm saying? If you get the wrong person, man, if you get the wrong agent on you, man, it's going to go bad for you. You might get some agent, he just wants the guilty. He don't want to do you. He just want to get the guilty and, lock you up a little bit. You got other ones, he might want to lock you up forever. So that's also got something to do with it. What's the agents handling your case? Do they got some type of heart and some type of leniency? Or are they the ones that, want you to be gone for a long time? Because some of them, when they got you for 15 years or whatever, they'll come get you. Some of them, when they got you for 15 years, they'll let you keep doing crimes so they can stack it. So some of them will let you do crimes so they definitely got you for life. So he was lucky didn't stack him more. But he Diddy, man. No, Diddy was stupid. Diddy got that money and forgot who he was playing with. He went over there. The liquor company told him, no, nobody want to buy that liquor. It's a black liquor. Ciroc is black. We can't sell in the white neighborhood. They doing business with him. They telling you the truth. These your business partners. They saying we can't sell that over there. He like, I want my stuff in the white neighborhood, and these the professionals. They telling you it won't sell over there, did he? Did he go back? Oh, they racist and all that. They like, what? And that's where he really made a big mistake. He accused them people of being racist because they wouldn't sell Ciroc. He wanted to get in the white market. They told him something he wasn't supposed to tell nobody. They told him, it's not going to sell in the white market, bro. They not going to buy your liquor. They told him the absolute facts. He thought they was being racist. No, he was telling him that the market is racist. And the market is different. They not going to buy that. They don't drink that kind of stuff, bro. They drink bourbon. They drink beer. They drink wine. They don't drink Hennessy. They don't drink Ciroc. It's certain liquors and foods is black, and there's certain liquors and foods is white. Now you can't buy certain fireworks in Illinois. Wow, let me tell you something. Hold on. Wow, let me tell you something. Now you can't sell certain fireworks in Illinois. So when I lived in O-Block, I used to drive over to Indiana and get fireworks. So I'll go over to Indiana, I'll buy like $500-$600 worth of fireworks. When I come back, I'm gonna make like $3-4 grand, right? I come back to O-Block, I got the fireworks. Boom, I'm in there. Boom. I start selling the cherry bombs, the M80s and stuff, right? The shorties and them running up to my door, they going out in the day. I'm hearing boom. Every time I'm hearing boom, I'm getting scared because if one of them blow their fingers off, I'm up in here with my wife and children with all these illegal fireworks, plus my other illegal business I'm doing, plus weapons I'm not supposed to have. They could kick my damn door in. So every time it's boom, boom, and then the shorties just running up and down the stairs like, wow. So everybody know that's the firework man. Man, I had hundreds of shorties up and down the stairs, jars of change. They're bringing quarters, nickels, dimes, dollars, everything. I got spooked. I shut it down. I got spooked. I'm like, oh no. And when I shut it down, they was still coming for 3 days before they said, hey, I don't got no more, y'all. Imagine open your door and there's 8 shorties out there, a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? A 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 13-year-old. And the 5-year-old want that stuff. He gonna blow his fingers off. Man, I was scared as hell. Man, I was scared. That's a Fed case. I bought them in Indiana and bought them to Chicago. It's a Fed case. Somebody blow their finger out, whatever. I'm doing major time. Anybody tell you 6420, apartment 2A. I moved in there with my queen in 98, had my daughter in 99. I had just got out of jail, and then I met her, and then I started messing with her, and she had 3 kids and lived over there. I had an apartment. I was never going home. I was over there. So I wasn't never going home no more. So my apartment just sitting there. And I got all this illegal stuff there, and the landlord was a weirdo. I had locks and stuff all on my closet because he was trying to see what I was doing. I had to threaten him too. So I left. I'll tell you something else too about going to prison. I was on 94th, 93rd. I lived on 93rd, right off of King Drive. So I would take the bus to King Drive and go visit her. That way I ain't got to park my car. So one morning I get up, I'm going to the apartment to check my apartment. I haven't moved yet. I walk, I turn the corner. When I get on my block, it ain't no cars on the block, just my Cadillac. The only car on the block is my Cadillac. Custom license plate say Ja Rule with Dayton wheels on it. Ain't nobody in Chicago got no Dayton wheels. And my car sitting there basically telling the police, hey, the man doing crimes is in here. My car looks super illegal. Everybody's at work. Every car's gone to go to work except my car. And my car was snitching on me. It looked like a dope dealer's car. And when I turned the corner, I synced it clear as night. My car was sitting there like, yeah, he don't work. My car was sitting there like right here. So when I moved, I took that car and hid it behind my parents' house. I had just got out the county jail, so I toned down. I took off all the fancy clothes. I got an old raggedy used van. It wasn't raggedy. I bought a used van. I just had regular clothes on, and I was hustling, but I stopped looking like I was getting money. I just looked like an older dude that ain't on nothing. Yeah, the car was like, yeah, he don't work. Look at this car. Look at this car. He don't work. Look at his car. He don't work. That's what my car was saying. So, if you're blind and you're not paying attention, you're in the streets, you're going to get it. I could have got a case just like that. They'll be like, let's watch him. Let's watch him. The car sitting there is looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't looking right. I start hiding my cars in storage lockers. There go the car right there, that white car. Imagine going on the block and that white car sitting there on the block by itself. That's why O Block they call me Ja Rules, because my license plate say Ja Rules. So they call me Ja Rules. All the hustlers, a lot of Jamaican hustlers, they was buying BMWs and Beamers and Maximas. So me being a Black American comedic roster, I wanted to represent Black America. So I bought a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting on FBA business. So I used to hide my cars. Listen, and at this same storage locker, and I used to put the illegal substance under the hood of my trunk. My trunk had a lock on it. Man, one day I was in my storage locker with the thing down. And when I lifted, at the storage locker right across from me was two detectives. Listen, I'm telling y'all real stuff, how you go to prison. I come out the storage locker and look, and there's two white detectives got the storage locker directly across from mine. And I was like, froze when I seen them, because I had a lot of stuff hid in the car. Because I had that extra trunk lock on it, so you couldn't steal my car. That you got to turn it from the key in the inside. And I had that alarm system that if you carjack me and you get in the car and drive off, if you don't know the code to put, the car gonna go down like just a start of the block, and it's just gonna turn off. So the car would just turn off because you had to know to push it twice, once, and once. Or twice, and once. So if you didn't know that code, that thing would start flashing, tick, 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 and then the car would just turn off. So if you carjack me, I could just wait and watch you. And then you're going to go right down there. It's going to stop. You're going to have to get out and run. I just go get it back in my car. Yeah, go ahead, take it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get 3 houses down. It's gonna turn it off. Cause as soon as you open my door and close my door, you gotta turn that switch back on. If you don't hit that switch when you get in there, and then you gotta have the key to open the hood. If you don't got that key, you can't pop the hood. You know, that little round key, you know, the little round key to go in the hood, that was a key like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying all this to say I was going to go to prison. Okay. The moral of the story is I was going to go to prison and I just barely escaped prison. Get out the streets. That's the moral story to the young brothers. Get out the streets because you're not slick enough. You don't know what you look like. And it's going to be a long time before you realize you look like a criminal. You understand? It's going to be a long time before you realize what you look like to the rest of the world. And then you dealing with a bunch of people that can get in trouble. So Diddy just basically sent himself to prison. And you're a rich black man and you're a target. And they're like, we got R. Kelly. Yeah, we got Diddy. Now the record labels can go in there and get their money back that you made. They can go buy all your stuff. You know, they can make you be desperate for money. You can lose your mansions. Now you want to start selling your publishing. Now your family's struggling because you feeding your whole family. You taking care of your daughters. You taking care of your mom. You taking care of everybody. So that $1 billion you got jump right down to 500,000. Boom, 250. No, 500 million, 250 million. Boom, 75 million. Boom, 40 million. And with your expenses, the money gone. Because you be having millions of dollars of expenses. So the more money you make, the more your expenses to survive. So that money, if you don't keep making money, that money start disappearing. Boom. So instead of this man focusing, he started playing around. You can't mix drugs with business. You can't mix liquor with business. And you can't mix sex with business. If you want to be a successful, especially male businessman, you can't do sex. You can't do women like that. Any woman you're going to sleep with, you got to make a business arrangement. Paperwork got to be signed. Hey, Punchy. So if you're getting a lot of money, paperwork got to be signed. You can't just marry no woman. She got to sign papers. There got to be a contract. If you don't want to do that, then you don't get into it. It got to be a contract. So I'm getting that kind of money like that. You a woman, you like me, you got to sign a contract. Saying that we together, and if we divorce, this is what you get, period. This is all you get. Guy had a paperwork. This is what you get. And it's a business arrangement. Then she's a business partner. You married, you lovers, but she got to be about business. Period. If she's not about business, she got to go. Look at the lady when they're testifying. A rapper had a son by her. She kind of embarrassed the rapper's son because that's your mama. But he was beefing with Diddy, so Diddy did that to embarrass him. So the girl, just show you, the woman was evil because the woman didn't know doggone well why Diddy was messing with her. She knew Diddy was messing with her to get back at her baby's father. She knew that. And she did it to get back at him too. But she let that man play with her son's reputation. Okay? You understand? So she took him down and tried to hurt Fifth and then disrespected her own son. Put her own reputation. She'll never forgive herself for that. She'll never be nothing in the world. They'll be like, you humiliate your son like that? And you know your son, daddy, was famous like that? And you let that man humiliate your son, daddy? What? And everybody involved. And they coming after more people than that. Yeah, they coming after some other people. So if you see Diddy get a break, it's because he gonna snitch. If Diddy get anything less than 20 or 30, he snitched. He gonna tell on some other celebrities. He gonna provide evidence of some other crimes. That's a fact. If it looked like he got a slap on the wrist, he snitched. For him to get out of there, he got to tell. Anybody know the feds know I ain't lying. For him to get out of there in a decent amount of time, he got to tell. He got to tell. He'll be able to live in the Hamptons. Oh, if he tell, Diddy was kind of like, might have been doing stuff, but not at this level, what he got to do now. The stakes is raised. If he get anything less than 20 and up, he's snitching. Period. If he get anything less than 20, if he get 15, he's snitching. 5, 10, anything like that. He's snitching. It's 2025. If he walk out of there anytime before 2040 with good time, he's snitching. Because he's supposed to be locked up to 2075. He's supposed to get 50. He's supposed to get 50 with the guns, with the serial numbers and all that. He's supposed to get 50. He's supposed to get a 50 ball. He's supposed to pass away. He's supposed to pass away in prison. It's supposed to basically be a life sentence. You said that you wonder how would I feel? So you saying you wonder how would I feel, right? You saying how would I feel if I was taking all this stuff and I was doing all these crimes and I had guns with serial numbers filed off and I was flying people across state lines for prostitution and having sex and filming it, and I was extorting people, saying if they didn't do what I do, I'm going to show the footage. And you're asking me, how would I feel if I still didn't get out? So what's interesting is you saying, how would we feel? But you're not mentioning how will his victims feel from him victimizing and extorting all these people. So it's very interesting, Candy, how you're giving, what you're saying, that we don't have no sympathy for his children, that he didn't have none for none of those people's children. So he didn't have no sympathy for that lady's child that she had by that rapper. How much sympathy did he have for these people's children? That's my question I ask you. You're saying we don't have no sympathy for his children. Did he have sympathy for his victims' children? I think that's a fair question. So I think you need to check yourself. I think, Candy, you need to check your moral compass. That you willing to cheerlead for this man that abused women and abused people. So I think you got to check yourself. That's what I think. I think your moral compass is messed up. I think you a fan of Diddy and you willing to let him abuse everybody so he can get out for his children. That's what I think. I'm just saying. So I got a question for you. Since you saying we should think about his children, here's the question. What do you think about his son, Justin? Candy? Looking at this case that just dropped June 27th, what do you think about Diddy's son, Justin Combs? I think that's a fair question. What do you think about his son? Just stare at this for a minute, and I'll be right back. Just stare at that. And so when you say I haven't thought about his sons, oh, I have thought about his sons. I've been thinking about Justin. I mentioned Justin. Okay, no comment. Okay. No comment all of a sudden. No response. No comment. Now that I showed you that his sons is just as foul as him. He called his son and said, "Did you get rid of the pizza boxes?" His son is a criminal too. If you love your family and you think about your family, that's what I'm telling young people. You need to think about crimes that's going to take you away from your family. When you sentenced to jail, to prison, your sentence is 20 years away from your family, 10 years, no woman, no family. Because you got food, it's illegal substances in there. You got light, you got electricity, you got recreation. It's only one thing that they sentence you to when you go to jail or prison. They sentence you to 20 years away from your wife. No woman, 20 years away from your children. Your children, being away from your children is your sentence. Think about it. That's your sentence. 15 years away from your children for what you did. So when you go and doing this stuff, he the one wasn't thinking about his children. Not only wasn't he thinking about children, Cassie is somebody's child. Cassie had a mother. He threatened that lady's mother. So show me where he cared about Cassie's mother's daughter. Show me all those women was somebody's child. Show me where he respected their children. I mean, I think that's a fair question. Did he respect anybody else's child? Anybody else's offspring? Would he be cool with people doing his daughter the way he did everybody else's daughter? He got the twins, right? Is it cool for us to have his twins at the freak off? He got other people's daughters at the freak off. Is it cool if we do his daughters like that? I'm thinking about that. What if they get did like how he did people? Or there's a situation he can mistreat my daughter, but his daughters are special. Because a lot of us men, we thinking about how he would do our daughter. Now, she's not going to dip. Candy cool. I'm saying some real stuff, so she taking it in. She's smart. I respect Candy. She's not supposed to say nothing right now. I tried to defend that. She's thinking about it. Damn, he making a good point. So, yeah, she's not going to really say nothing. She got to let that sink in. She got to let that sink in. If she say the wrong thing, she going to look bad. Because she knows she wouldn't want him to do nothing with her daughter. She just wasn't thinking about that. She got daughters, too. What if Diddy had your daughters? If Diddy did Candy daughters like that, should we think about Diddy's children or Candy's daughter? We're going to think about Candy's daughter. We ain't going to think about Diddy's children. We're going to think Diddy doing stuff to other people's children while he putting his children up on a pedestal. I'm thinking he'll do all kind of stuff to my daughter while he protect his daughters. That's what I'm thinking when it comes to his children. Why his daughter wasn't at the freak out? They women. People want to see them. Nuts want to see them at the freak off. What, they too good? What if somebody beat his daughters up like he beat up Cassie's mama's daughter? Cassie got a mama. He beat that woman's daughter up. So what about somebody beat his daughters up like that? What is up with that? Why not? He did it to other people's daughters. He abused other people's daughters. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So how dare you ask me to think about his daughters when he abused everybody else's daughters? Keep your deep from the snitch on Diddy. Diddy finna get that case. He finna get that Tupac case and that Biggie case. Diddy is finished. This is how it happens. When they come after you, they got backup cases already. And he was so sloppy. He was just sloppy. When Lil Rod's lawsuit, he gonna win. They're gonna take every dime dude guy. He was just basically in defense of Diddy, he was high. He was high. And you don't get high on your own supply. And if you're a gangster, you're a hustler, you don't get drunk and you don't get high. Period. So he was trying to be a gangster and a dope fiend. And that day he broke the rules. How you gonna do all that and be out your mind? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna do all that and be out your mind? So many criminals drank too much and used illicit substances, and that's why they went to prison. Because when you're doing crime, it's still a job, just like any other job. Just like you can't work for IBM and go in there drunk or high. You can't work for NBC and go in there drunk or high. You can't be a senator or a congressman and go in there drunk or high. And so when you're selling illegal substances or doing crimes, you have to be just like any other corporate person. Period. That's why I never went to jail or prison, because I was always sober and I took it like a job. I did not get out my mind. Even when it's an off night and I'm with my woman and we go to a club, I don't never get off point because I never get off jail because I'm the man in the streets. And just because I'm off don't mean opposition or off. So this destroys your relationships too. Because when I go out with my woman, she don't feel that love from me. She don't, some of these women, to them, love is you rubbing on them and holding hands and hugging them and stuff. And a gangster, we can fake it, but we really can't do that. How I'm going to hug you, how I'm going to be in love with you, how I'm going to be smiling with you when I got a 45 Glock in my waist and a lot of jewelry on and a mink coat, and you got on a mink coat and you got on a lot of jewelry and we outside. My head is on the swivel. You don't know that. You just my woman. You don't know we hot. You won't know we hot till somebody run up on us and carjack us or ties up, put us in the trunk. So you thinking it's sweet. So my job is to let you think it's like that. But I'm a gangster. I don't relax. So that's why I'm telling young brothers, you don't want to be no gangster. Because when you're a gangster 24/7, 365, even when you sleep. You're never going to be a father. You're never going to be a mother. You're never going to be if you're a gangster, you're never going to be a husband. You're going to be a gangster, then a husband. You're going to be a gangster, then a father. You're going to be a gangster, then a businessman. It's too much for the average person. Diddy wasn't ready for that. He couldn't do that. It was Diddy bit off something, that he couldn't do. He tried to be something he can't do. When you is a gangster, Diddy was doing gangster stuff, but he wasn't no gangster. He wanted to be high. Gangsters don't get high. Period. It just is what it is. And a lot of times, your woman don't like that. She wants somebody, a regular man, that want to walk in the park and smile. She wants somebody got a job or something. She don't want to be with you like that. She don't want to be with you like that. She don't want to do that. That's why sometimes we be having so many women. That's why we have to change women. Because it's too much for them. It's too much. She ain't, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no woman want to be bothered with you. You ain't never. She can get a regular man that got a pretty good job that be regular stuff. She can find that. But if she gonna be somebody like me, like look at me with my queen in the club. I'm not really relaxed like that. I'm trying to be out with her and stuff. Look, I'm not gonna smile for no picture. Look at my face. And I'm out with my queen. I'm supposed to be smiling, ain't I? Why I'm looking like that? Look at me. Why I'm looking like that? She's strapped. I'm strapped. Maybe she don't want to be strapped. Maybe she don't want to have that in her purse. You know what I'm saying? Don't no woman want to, you know what I'm saying? Who want to be with you like that? Even when I get married, everywhere I go, I'm the same way. All my wedding pictures and stuff, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm a gangster. I can't even stop being a gangster when I get married. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really fit for a relationship unless you want to marry a gangster. That includes concentrating on the police. You got to be so mean and so serious for so long, for every second. Hell, you just become that. Look, this is my wedding night. Look at me. She's smiling. Look at me. I wasn't no player. Same thing at this one. When I married this one, same thing. She happy. Look at me. I'm not happy. Not at all. I spent a lot. No, I didn't spend no money for that. I got married the cheapest way possible. Man, hell no. I ain't spending no money. I'm a hustler. I'm not a working man. Working men go make a lot of money and throw it away. I'm a hustler. We go to Vegas, we get married, have a little vacation and go back home. Stand there and take a picture for a couple dollars and that's it. You don't get money by spending money. You get money by making money. You ain't spending nothing. You're a hustler. All the money that you would spend for that, you're going to spend for a ring. You understand? All the money you're going to spend for the ring. That was the second one and the third one. That was the first one. You can't see me. The first one, I was walking with a cane. This is the first one. Same thing. On gangster. You just can't see me. Ain't got no close ups. I think my son got to find the close ups and stuff from his grandmother. It's the same thing. I'm just letting y'all know it ain't no life you want to live. And Diddy tried to live that life and have fun. If you want to have fun, right? And you want to live, a regular life, then you can't do crime. You can't get involved with crime and do no happy go lucky stuff. You have to concentrate on opposition. You got to concentrate on the police. And if you ain't concentrating on the police 24/7, you going to prison. And people say, yeah, you was too serious, but I never went to prison. And I ain't in the grave. It's a life you choose and you got to live with it. And you can't have no regrets. Diddy tried to choose a life and have fun. So he wanted to break the law and have fun and get high. And you don't get high on your own supply. What the hell? You don't get high. You can't go do what he doing. You own all this stuff out your rabbit ass man. Don't know what you doing. He lucky to be alive. He lucky he didn't OD. Do I let people come up? What you mean let people come up? Come up like what? When you say do I let people come up, what you mean like come up like what? On my chat, nah. Cause I'm gonna do that on Pharaoh Said That Live because it just be too many nuts. You know what I'm saying? It just be too many nuts. It'd be boring, and it'd just be people just on there for their own sake. They don't be adding nothing. You know what I'm saying? On Pharaoh Said That Live, I'm gonna let people come up, but they gonna control the conversation. So yeah, go follow me on Pharaoh Said That Live. You know what I'm saying? Go hit the link in the chat, hit that, and follow Pharaoh Said That Live, and you'll be able to come up over there. You know what I'm saying? But over here, no, because it be distractions. It don't be what I be on. You know what I'm saying? The conversation be, you know what I'm saying? Go to the left. You know? Yeah, so I'm about to kick off Pharaoh Said That Live. It won't be this, and that's why all of y'all to get to talk, panels, open discussion. It'll basically be y'all's channel. So it won't be based on my conversation. You won't have to stay on that. So that's why I got another channel, Pharaoh Said That Live. So you'll be able to come over and just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You understand? So you'll be able to come over there and do your thing. But as far as back to what I'm saying about Diddy, like Diddy's going bye-bye. He was sloppy. And he was doing things that he didn't know how much time it carried. See, he didn't know that. He didn't know that filming that stuff without being an official film crew and without the proper permits and licenses to shoot porn, He didn't know that was illegal. You can't just shoot that. Everything in America, you got to have paperwork for it. You can't do nothing in America without paperwork. You got to have a vendor's license just to go on the street and sell stuff. And then, like here in Chicago, let's say you want to sell outside and you go get your little vendor's pass to sell outside. When you read the instructions, it's going to say you can't be so many 100 feet by no store. You can't be by no stadium. You can't sell at the park. You can't sell at the beach. So basically, you got to sell in the middle of nowhere where no people is at. It's going to be illegal for you to sell by anywhere there's people. I hear you. I hope his family did what's right. They say his mama got all his money, so he might have been smart because they say his mama controlling the money. So I'm sure he had enough time to situate his money so they couldn't take his money. So I'm pretty sure that he might got his money secured. The problem is they know that, and they know if they keep putting you in trouble, your mama gonna have to come up there with that money. So they don't care who got it. Somebody got to bring it to pay all these cases you finna have. So they'll still drain your money with cases. Because I would suspect he got at least 3 more cases coming, maybe 4. I expect him to have a murder charge coming and some other charges. This is just the beginning for him, I suspect. I suspect it's just the beginning because I suspect this lawsuit is going to turn into a criminal case if it's not a statute of limitations with him and his son. Because he just was not a good father. You know what I'm saying? He just not a good father. And boys is all, involved. You know what I'm saying? And he incriminated him. He called him and said, "Did you get rid of the pizza boxes?" So the feds is on them. What pizza boxes? You know what I'm saying? You say, how can I speak on fatherhood and not know the man? Listen. There go my answer. He showed y'all why I didn't bring him in. Because he wasn't coming over here to bring nothing positive. He was coming over here to try to go back and forth. But it's a block party over here. I knew he wasn't no good from the very beginning. I've been doing this for a while. He didn't want to come into my life for nothing positive. He wanted to come for a whole bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I was just waiting on it. I knew what you was on. Yeah, that was the one who wanted to come up. It was a setup. That's why I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I don't do that. I already knew what he was on. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Alden? I already knew it. I already know he a little boy. You got to stay on little boy place. I ain't want to talk to him for what? Go get you a channel. You know what I'm saying? And then talk. Don't be lazy and let me build a channel and try to talk to my audience. Go build you a channel, talk to your own audience if you got something to say. When a man is looking at, when a man, he said, well, I'm talking on fatherhood because he's abusing other people's children. And then somebody asked me, you understand? So, right there, he's a nut because somebody asked me about his daughters. I didn't bring that up. And so his dad, whoever that was, he wasn't intelligent enough to really even talk to me because he don't even remember how the subject of fatherhood even came up. The subject of fatherhood came up. Somebody asked me. And then I started breaking down how he was mistreating other people's children and all that. The cases about him abusing people, that's people's children. He threatened Cassie's mother. That's all part of the case. He threatened that woman. And he threatened Cassie to show her mother footages of him. And that's somebody's daughter. So it's all relevant. He was abusing other people's daughter. That is the case. The case is he was a scumbag abusing other people's children while he was trying to protect his. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm standing on. That he wanted respect for his daughters, but he didn't have respect for nobody else's daughters. That's what I'm standing on. You know what I'm saying? Just like a lot of people. They want to treat theirs of high on a pedestal, but disrespect everybody else. He was beating up women and stuff like that, but his daughters is angels. That's a valid, very valid point that need to be said. I'm the realest alive. That need to be said. You know what I'm saying? That need to be said. When you looked at the trial, you seen all these women crying, he abusing, then you see his daughters come, the twins, like they super special. And they beyond being treated like he treating all these other women. That's very legitimate to bring up right now. That this man want to hold his children up on one level while he abused everybody else's children. Very relevant to me. And so the jury, if them men got daughters, he going to prison. Because them men going to think about their own daughters and their own nieces and their own grandchildren and daughters. So when you got men in there and you mistreating daughters, what's up, Jovan? Diddy's mother was married to a Diddy. Diddy's daddy was like that. Diddy's mother worked in a house. Okay? She was like a madam. Okay? Diddy's daddy was a criminal and a snitch and got unalived for being a snitch. So he was raised around what he was doing. Okay? Diddy was raised under that. Okay? I ain't trying to disrespect his mama, but look at his mama. He's seen all of that as a child at his house. I did my research, I know. I mean, I do what I got to do. I cast my pearls to the people that's watching. They need to learn from people. What's your name? P and W. So when people come say something to me, I still use that as a teaching point. right? So as a teacher like that, somebody come and say something, and then the audience see that, then I take that, and then I teach off of that. It's great for me. It's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That allowed me to teach off of that. Yeah, good point. Let's teach off of that. This is what was really going on. And this is what goes on in the world. People abuse families but try to take care of their family. You know what I'm saying? People want to do to other people, but they don't want that done to them. And that's Diddy. And it's very relevant because it conversation also came from his summer. His son got a lawsuit for grape, for gang grape. The daddy and the son. So when they say, well, don't talk about his being a father, this got everything to do with him being a father. I'm showing he got another case down the pipeline. He got another suit down the pipeline, and it's allegedly him and his son. Now, let me read it. Since they pushing the line, let's push the line. I didn't ever read it, but we will now. A woman has filed a complaint against Sean Diddy Combs and his son Justin Combs, alleging she was gang raped by Diddy and two other men during a trip to Los Angeles. Tyreek Corley claims Justin Combs contacted her through Snapchat in March or April of 2017, requesting risque photos, which she sent. She said Justin, now 31 years old, offered to fly the New Orleans resident to LA for a weekend and promised he could get her a job at Revolt TV, a network his father founded. Instead, Cornely claims she was spiked, literally held prisoner for a weekend, and repeatedly raped by three masked men, including the elder Combs. USA Today has reached out to Sean Combs' team for comment. The lawsuit comes amid closing arguments in Combs' federal uh, SEX crimes trial and closely watched affair attended regularly by many of Combs' children, including Justin. And then they showed his daughters in the picture, basically letting you see that, you know, in the complaint filed by Tony Busby, who we can't trust, right? Who is representing a host of other alleged victims accusing Combs of assault. So once you say Tony Busby, this might be all nonsense, right? Let's keep it fair. The lawyer claims the music mogul's penchant for violence is shared by his sons. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say. That now they're going to open up a whole can of worms on him, and he's got many cases coming. Look at R. Kelly, he had the one little case, right? Boom, he got from under it. What happened? Another case, another case. This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. Diddy's got cases because a lot of times one case makes other quiet victims say, come out. So if you have any other victims and you catch a case, you can end up with a lot of cases. And Diddy is going to definitely have more cases, including a possible murder charge for the assassination of Tupac and Biggie. He can easily be charged with those. This is just what it is. I'm just letting y'all know that Diddy is in a lot of trouble. That's all. I'm just bringing you up to par on how this works. A lot of times the feds will have 3 cases on you already and bring up the weakest one first. This is just how the game goes. You don't know what they got on him. You don't know what other case they found investigating the case. So the feds get a case on me. They start investigating me for case A. In the process of investigating me in case A and raiding me in case A, they find all this other stuff. So now they turn that over to investigators. Next thing you know, investigators say, look what we found. He also got this. This is how this works. One case could open you up to everything you've done wrong could come out. Then you find out, oh, that's why they didn't call D-Rock this time. They're going to call D-Rock next time. I'm just letting y'all know how this go. Look at Bill Cosby. I mean, you could look at the cases like Smokey's in trouble. Watch something else come up on Smokey. Just watch. Tyler Perry's in trouble. Watch another case pop up on Tyler. All your dirt gonna come out. Everybody gonna tell once one person tell. I'ma tell too. I'ma tell too. You might even get false allegations. You're gonna get a bunch of false allegations, a bunch of real allegations. And everything you've been doing in the dark is just gonna come to the light. Because one thing about a scumbag, they ain't never a scumbag just once. You know what I'm saying? Jakes too. TD Jakes. Listen, a scumbag is not a one-time scumbag. A scumbag be doing a bunch of scumbag stuff. Typically. How many robbers in the neighborhood only rob one person? I don't feel bad for his family. I don't care nothing about his family. I don't feel bad for him. Well, I don't feel bad for him. I don't know them people. Yeah, Punchy, it's going to go bad. I watched his daughters. It was sad to watch his daughter have to walk out and all that. But I mean, this what come with it. You know? I'm trying to, I know you say, well, dang, Pharaoh, you can have a heart, right? Why are you so harsh? Because I'm trying to scare brothers. So I'm not trying to sweeten nothing. Because I'm trying to let brothers know, if you go to prison, ain't nobody going to give a damn about your family. And your friends going to try to get at your baby mama. So I'm just telling you the real. Nobody going to care once you go to prison. And all them people smiling in your face, they're going to all disappear. So I didn't really come to make this like soft. I'm not just here to report on Diddy. I'm here to let brothers know and people know, don't do the crime because you damn sure can't do the time. And there's a lot of bad stuff come with it. And nobody gonna care. And your children gonna just be out there on their own. Everybody just gonna act like they like you and your children while you free. But as soon as you gone, ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you, your family. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Maybe their grandparents might. Other than that, all them friends you got, when you get in trouble, they gonna disappear. And your same friend that was by the house, got your daughters calling him unc, he gonna try to sleep with you. You're gonna go back and find out he's sleeping with your daughter. And he 20 years older than your daughter. And he was always been around since she was a baby. What y'all want me to bring you, the real world, or you want me to bring you the nice world? I'm not going to be able to bring you the nice world because it don't exist. I can't, you know what I'm saying? If I got respect for y'all and I got love for y'all, I got to just bring it to y'all raw. I can't clean it up for you because that's showing you no respect. If I clean it up for you, what I'm teaching you, how can I show you something clean when it ain't clean? So I'm not teaching you nothing if I show you a sanitized version. Listen, it's not going to be sanitized. It's going to be ugly, okay? It's not going to be nothing good at all. It's going to be horrible. As brothers have been to prison, it's like you're going to hell. Everybody forgets about you. Period. They gone. Soon as they can't benefit from you no more, you're nothing. And the whole time you're going to find out how many people actually hated you. This is what he's going through right now. This is what Diddy going through. If he found guilty, they're going to drop him like a hot potato. All that he thought, all them people like he going to find out they hated him. They never liked him. They was jealous of him. He got probably some real people rolling, like D-Rock probably was really with him. That's why he didn't come to court, because he ain't finna say nothing. So they say, ain't no need to bring D-Rock. He ain't finna say shit. So D-Rock probably was his only real homie. D-Rock was the one trying to make sure that Cassie didn't go and tell and try to go and cover him that he was crazy and try to say, babe, Puff tripping right now, he tried to do it in a way where he wasn't selling Puff out, but trying to clean up Puff's mess because that's his guy. He was always trying to help him. I got a lot of respect for D-Rock because he was trying to help him, even though it was right, wrong, and indifferent. He rode till the wheels fall off. He was happy that Puff took care of him. But Puff didn't have leadership, and Puff, you can't be a boss. You can't run your family, man. You can't run your family. You can't run nothing if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict or a sex fiend. You can't. You have to be clean. If you constantly going to the liquor store, you're a loser, okay? If you're going to the liquor store every week, you are a loser. Ladies, if your man always got a drink at the house to drink on, dump him. He's not a king. He's not going to be a good husband. He's a two-bit drunk. Dump him. If he's always got to have weed, if he's always got to have some type of substance, and he ain't even got no money, and he taking his little money, fast he get his little check, and he buying beers and stuff, and he puffing on weed, and he playing video games all the time. Ladies, dump him. Dump him. Your life going to be miserable with him. You're going to dump him anyway. So why have sex with him and let him get you pregnant? And he not no daddy. You're just going to be stuck with that baby. That's a little boy. That's not no man. Take it from me. I started smoking herb after the 6th grade. Why you think I started selling it? I'm not finna buy that shit. So it was cool. Women was cool being with me because I'm making money off of it. Boy, I'm making money. My little couple joints and stuff is free. Know that. I'm not taking no money out of our pocket to buy no weed. I'm making money and putting money in my pocket for weed. Yeah, I'm not no hype. My woman ain't got to worry about me leaving and chasing no damn women. I already got a woman. I ain't no trick, no goofy chasing behind no women like that. Gangsters don't do that. That's the way to end up in the graveyard, end up in prison chasing women. You going to prison, you going to the graveyard, you gonna get stuck up. All kind of bad stuff gonna happen. Because you're letting your little wee lead you. How you gonna make good decisions? You gonna be a boss, you gotta really have discipline. Diddy had none. Drugs, chasing women, all goofy stuff. He threw it all away. He threw it all away. Get you a queen and ride with her like that. If anybody cheat, let her cheat. And then kick her to the curb. Let her be a bust down. Let her belong to the streets. Not you. You a man. Let her get tricked out of her draws. Not you, a man, get tricked out of your draws for no chick. Period. That's what ruined Diddy right there. Diddy got ruined for the same thing regular brothers losing just like that. He lost. It's the same thing. It was just a high level of the same thing brothers be doing. He's the typical man that'll take L's. What happened to Samson? He was chasing Delilah and woke up with his hair cut off, blinded, and chained up by the Philistines. They made a slave out of him, all because he was chasing the chick. Go look it up. Got stripped of everything, his strength and everything. Blinded him. They did him real dirty. Blinded him. And chained him up. Chasing that broad. That wasn't no queen. That was a bust down. Instead of getting him a good wife and being a good husband. And Diddy had money, he's supposed to have a good wife, be a good husband. He's supposed to have a nice prenuptial and stuff so she can't rob him. And he's just supposed to focus on his business and do all his artists right and raise his children. He ain't supposed to be doing all that stuff he was doing is clown stuff. You make that much money to be a dope fiend. Now he was locked up going through withdrawals and shit. And once he go through all them withdrawals and get locked up, he ain't got all that data put in his head. Now he look 20,000 years old. That dang, did he look old as hell? You know what I'm saying? You're looking at a man threw it all away. Nobody don't want to teach the young brothers a lesson from what he doing. And they finna sentence that man. Don't let nobody fool you. They finna sentence that man tomorrow. Because the 4th of July coming up and them people want to go home. They going home tomorrow. Okay? The 4th of July coming up. The 4th of July coming up. They steal people. They going home. They want to get back to their families. They want to prepare stuff and they want to start making money from this case and selling books and doing interviews and getting paid. They're going to make big money. It ain't making it past tomorrow. Tomorrow, he'll be sentenced. They got one charge they got to figure out. And boy, look, they going to figure that out tomorrow. I mean, today is Wednesday. Man, they going home today. Man, them people going home today. It's the 2nd of July. Tomorrow's the 3rd of July. Bro, they going home today. Them people going home today. Them people say, listen, guilty then. Whatever, so we can get the hell out of here. He will be sentenced today. Today is Wednesday, right? All right, then. Let me see. Man, he getting sentenced today. Man, listen. If you know anything about human nature, if you know anything about human nature, they're gonna be like, we don't know what, but we going home. We done been up here in this court listening to this stuff for weeks and weeks. It's the holiday. It's summertime. Okay? Tomorrow, they reading the verdict tomorrow. And they going to probably find him guilty on all 5 charges. But if not, with the 4 charges, he doing a lot of time. It's the 4th of July. Okay? After July, summer's over. You understand? Now, if you ain't got no children, you don't know what I'm talking about. But for regular people, summer is from the 2nd week of June to the end of July. That's summer. August, we don't get to do summer because we got to start thinking about back to school with the babies. And back to school kill your August. You don't get a real good August. Some schools, like in Texas and stuff like that, they back in school in August. Like schools, all these schools, you know, back in school in September. Some of them back in school, like my granddaughter, she going to be back in school in August, I think. So different schools, they back at different times. So really the heart of summer is July, is really summer. June is like spring going into summer. But summer is July. July is summer. And then when July is over, then we getting back into the depression part where, oh man, these babies got to go back to school. See? She said school start there in August, yep. In New York, it starts September. But it's like, it's still the back to school energy because they start having the back to school sales. And if your babies wear uniforms, stuff like that, if you don't get in there, your son's pants size and your daughter's skirt size gonna be gone. So it ain't no hesitate when you get on there. When you get that paycheck, you got to go in and in because by the time you get your next paycheck, you see what I'm saying? We black, we working people, so we go from paycheck to paycheck. So our whole life is scheduled around that paycheck. What's that back to school paycheck? Because that back to school paycheck, summer's over that day. Regular, I raised a lot of children. Our summer be over. If you got children, now if you ain't got no children, you my age, and you ain't got to worry about the grandbabies and stuff, my summer's all the way to September. But when I had children, my summer was gonna be over next. My summer would be over next month. Maybe that's why the Fed scheduled the trial for now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He going to prison. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. When you make it and you got that much money and you do stupid stuff, nobody has no sympathy for you. When you filthy rich like that, and then you doing the type of stuff he doing, everybody like, what? So let me get this straight. You made all that money and this is what you was doing? Lock his ass up. In the real world, Diddy is a super loser, super goofy. Everybody looking at him like, what an idiot. You blew that type of opportunity doing that kind of stuff? Lock him up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about him but some weirdo fans. You know, fans is nuts. But regular working and regular people, we look at him like one of the biggest fools in history. He's a damn fool. I can speak for a lot of hustlers and stuff. Soon as you use it, you're a buster in our world. Real gangsters. Real gangsters. Once we see this, we like, oh, okay, he a whole goofy. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you don't get no respect if you a user. You a hype. In the streets, when they look and they say he buying all this, oh, he a customer, he a hype. He wasn't paying nobody. He was using everybody. He was paying them women. He was throwing away large amount of money on these women, giving them 9,000 here, 5,000 there, paying for all their apartments, paying for their cars, like tricking. Put her in a Maybach in a nice apartment, then say, you're supposed to take this abuse. I got you in a Maybach, I got you in a nice apartment, and you complaining? This all. And then they just pimped him. They pimped him. He was a goofy. That man was nothing but a goofy. That's what he was. That man was, Diddy is an idiot. He's gonna have no respect. Like, nobody respect him. He's a goofy. He's like a clown. You know what I'm saying? He let dude come in and just play him messed up. It's just unbelievable. He let dude come in and just play him like a bozo. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. What a sucker. He let this man come in, scoop up his woman, get in her ear, take her, marry her, make her have 3 babies, sue you for 30 million. It's like 15 for him, 15 million. He's a millionaire, and you going to prison. Straight got gaffled. He let this man come in, boom, scoop her up, throw babies in her real quick, sue him for 30 million. And watch you go to prison while she deliver his baby. While you trying to play everybody, got played, he got played, trying to play it, he got played. He gonna be sitting there locked up before it all hit him. The dude out there with her, they filthy rich. Your sons and them gonna be constantly indicted. Nobody gonna want to deal with them because your reputation is a scumbucket weirdo, and nobody gonna want to be a weirdo. So the Will Smiths and all them, they finna ghost your family because they scared that the real freak off information will come out because we know that wasn't no freak off. And the feds protected the real freak off and protected the millionaires and billionaires and made up a freak off to get you out of here. Everybody know what really happened. Y'all know that wasn't no freak off. Y'all know that wasn't no freak off. Come on. Y'all know that wasn't no freak off. Y'all ain't crazy. Come on, man. Y'all ain't crazy. Y'all know that wasn't no freak off. Y'all know they ran in there and took all that information first. That's what the rage was about. To take the real freak off pictures to protect the rich so he couldn't extort the rich. And after they ran in there and grabbed all that stuff and secured everybody's pictures, then months later they went and arrested him and charged him and hid and made you think that a freak off is him, the Punisher, and Cassie. And it's like, that's why everybody said, no, this ain't, let him go, this ain't. That's because that everybody know that's not the freak offs. Everybody know that. Everybody know that. They're just trying to run a game and get rid of him because he know too much. He know too much and he got to go. Okay? Nobody going to give it to you like this. They're going to give you the fake story. This is the only place. So, you know, hit the super chat and all that. Well, I ain't got no super chat. Hit the PayPal and all that. Because I ain't going to never have no super chat because I be talking too much. I'm the bad guy out here. That stuff they showed y'all is a way to get rid of him and to cover what was really going on. That is what you all are seeing. You are seeing a cover up and you're seeing them sending him up the river to protect everybody that was on that stuff that they confiscated. That's what was going on. That's what's going on. And if he got to get unalive to keep it quiet, then so be it. But they got to shut, he know too much and they got to shut him up. You know doggone well that they was in that hall all that time beating her up and nobody came out of none of the rooms. You know why? Everybody had checked out already. All those rooms was filled and this whole floor was the freak off. That's my theory. And when everybody else checked out and left, she tried to grab some footage and run. She tried to steal the footage and his phone that he was filming on. And that's why he ran around there. And that's why he was so mad, because she was going to steal that information and she was going to have proof of everybody there. And everybody had checked out because there's no way he was beating her up in that hallway. Why was he so confident that nobody would come out of none of them rooms? Nobody came out of no room. You know why? All them rooms was empty. And you will never see the footage of who checked in that hotel over them 4 days. I bet you won't never see that footage. Who was in them rooms? Because you cannot tell me they rented that whole floor just for a couple rooms. He rented that whole floor, every room on that floor, and there was people there. And they selling y'all a bullshit story, making you think it was just him and the Punisher and Cassie in there, which no, them rooms was full of famous people was in them rooms. He did buy the whole floor. They admitted he bought the whole floor, but they didn't admit that there was people in the other rooms. So they trying to make you think, Ty, they trying to make you think that he got the whole floor, but then they was only in a couple rooms. Because they never say nothing about who else was there. And when the incident happened, somebody would have came out the room and looked. If we go to a hotel right now and I start beating somebody up in the hallway, people in the room go open the door. What the hell's going on? And they would have been called security, which means all those rooms was empty. And if all them rooms was empty, that means the event was over. The freak off was over. And everybody that was involved in it was gone. And that man was setting up cameras in all them rooms, filming everything, and was sending it on the dark web. He walking around with a thing on his face that they wear in them foreign countries. That means everybody had their face covered. If he had a veil on, because the puncher say he didn't know who was under that veil. For months, he didn't even know who that was in the veil. Which means everybody had veils and masks on in them rooms, so you don't know who they are. And he's selling one person for you to watch it. This is Cassie. This is the rappers. That's why he wanted them. It's the reason he wanted the rappers' baby mama, because that's what's going. You're gonna get more money if you got her doing weird stuff on the dark web. And the stuff they was doing is worse than they told you. It was more than that. So if you're selling that on the dark web, you can use these big names to get $1 million to view it. You can get $1 million to view it if the name's big enough and if what they doing is weird enough. If the names is big enough, you can get $1 million to log in. So you pay your $1 million, okay? That's why he had the credit card, right? Frank Black. That means they all had credit cards in alias, right? All the freak off group had credit cards under aliases. How did he get a credit card under alias? What ID he used to get that? How do I go get a fake credit card? The movie Taken. Exactly. That's what this was. You know, everybody there used a fake credit card. Diddy didn't have the only one. And this stuff they said that he was buying, he was getting more than that. He was getting it for everybody there. You think they got all this, he was getting all this different stuff for him? No, he was getting it for the clients. They're covering it all up. And they want to fry him because he could get everybody in trouble. This is what's going on. Diddy got sloppy and could get all these people in trouble. And so he got to go. He know too much. And everybody like, we trusted you to come to your thing, but you start getting all high and start getting all goofy. And now we all in jeopardy. All our names is floating around. People saying, you know, this one and that one. People saying, you know, Will Smith. People saying Kevin Hart. People saying Meek Mill. People saying kings and princes and presidents and stuff like that. So a lot of people saying when they say he asking Trump to pardon him, a lot of people saying, why Trump? A lot of people like saying, why Trump? Was that a plea or was that a threat? That, hey, Trump, pardon me, or I'll let your stuff out. This why they ramped up in there. They looking for that. They was looking for that stuff. So now his son say, y'all raided the wrong house. It was next door. And then he get on and tell the son, did you get rid of them pizza boxes? Which means this is bigger than what they showing you. That's just a small circus to punish him. That's what I'm saying, RJ. What's in the pizza boxes and what y'all know about Pizzagate. Look up Pizzagate. And Pizzagate is about ordering children. Pizzagate is about ordering children. And you say you're ordering some pizza. I got that video. I got that whole video of that guy. I saved all that type of stuff. Pizzagate is about ordering children. Look it up. And they say they're ordering pizza. Remember they was trying to say Hillary and Bill and all that was wrapped up in that? So when he said, did you get rid of the pizza boxes? I'm like, why are you using the word pizza? Because that's the word in that crowd. Now, if you don't know nothing about that, and he said, asked his son, did you get rid of them pizza boxes? You know how serious that was for him to call from jail and say that? Chuck E. Cheese, exactly. Boy, tears. Boy, y'all better, boy, listen. Don't play with Tia. You're going to get caught. Hey, Tia. Hey, they better not play with you. She's sharp as a tack. Boy, you, man, if you date her, you know you better not cheat. You better be loyal. She going to catch you. She going to catch you. This lady this woman right here, she going to catch you. Yeah, she going to catch you. Yeah. You better be good, because she going to catch you. For sure. She's sharp. So that's what's going on, y'all. It's a whole lot going on. And he, he got, yeah, you sharp. He got to pay. So it's a lot going on with this. Diddy's life is in danger, if you ask me. I think he kind of knows that. I think even locking him up where Epstein was at was like a threat. And I really don't believe they feel like they could let him out. I think they want to keep him in there. I think now they finna try to grab the sons and stuff because I believe they still looking for stuff. And they know as long as they got him locked up, he ain't gonna be able to release it. As long as they following the sons and trailing the sons and got agents on the sons and him locked up, whatever he might have hid and never come out, and they will eventually find it because they probably figure the sons gonna make a slip up and they gonna find the rest of that stuff. I think that's the only thing holding them up is it might be still some stuff missing. Because they also said, Diddy said he found one of his phones. He said, I found one of my phones they didn't get, he said. Diddy was playing a dangerous game, He really started to thought he was the man. But he's playing with the wrong people, though, man. I believe Diddy was playing with the wrong people and ended up getting strung out. I believe he got strung out because the amount of money he was making. He was running them movies like 3 days in a row and he had to stay awake. So I believe he was doing stuff that was worth multi-millions. I believe on them freakouts, he making multi-millions. He might make 200 million, 100 million on them freakouts for real. I don't believe he was getting high for pleasure. I believe it was a necessity to stay awake. That he had to stay awake because they have to run. Like I be watching DJ Academics, and long live streams get a lot of views because people log in, log off, log in, log off, and all them logins count. So even though you don't keep the same amount of people logged in, you're getting a lot of people logging in because you constantly live. You say your ex, GS13, just found out you're not the one. We going to Manola this weekend. He been real good for my. I bet he have. And a liquor company, that liquor company wasn't the people to play with either. And then ain't no telling if any of them was at the parties. So let's say some of them showed up at the parties. He got cameras hid everywhere. They don't know. They in the back room doing something. Then they get into it. He said, well, I got you in that back room. I got that because his whole house was wired. He was filming people without their permission. So if you snuck off at his party and do something, he got it. Like he was really on some real extortion type stuff. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, did he go in? Well, yeah, kind of. If or worse, he going to prison or the grave. I said that. I can't say he gonna make it to prison. He might get Epstein. Yeah, he was doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, Diddy was dealing with some different type of people. Okay, you know, he was dealing with some next level type people. He wasn't dealing with no average people. He was getting cash and getting backing from a real high level. Okay, when it comes to that type of stuff. Okay, this is way up there. It's a lot of people shaking in their boots. He was with some, he wasn't with no average people. Okay, he was with some multi-billionaires, not just billionaires. You understand? So he's in a lot of danger. You know what I'm saying? They got to shut him up. If they can give him 50 years, they can get him to turn over some other people. Okay? It's a lot going on. And we're going to leave it like that. So, look, thanks for watching, though. Y'all support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Make a donation, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. And it's going to be an interesting week. And I'm not wishing nothing bad on the brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't got my feelings in it no kind of way. So I'm not wishing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you watching, I'm not wishing for no downfall or nothing. I'm just reporting what I see and just keeping it real, how I think it's going to turn out. I'm not anti or pro. So I'm not anti Diddy talk about this from an anti-Diddy point of view, because then that would be whack. And I don't think my commentary would be that good if I was against him or something. I'm not really against him. So I'm not wishing that he go to prison or none of that. So when I say going to prison, it's not a wish. It's just what I think. And if I thought, he was just totally innocent, I did nothing, I'd be the first one to tell it. I don't care. I'd be like, man, that man ain't did nothing, blah, blah, blah. The problem is I've already been researching all of this before he got in trouble. So I already knew certain things. Because I'm not really even saying everything. Because if I say the wrong thing, it'll put my life in danger. So I can't even tell you everything. I got to kind of hint around. Because these ain't the people to play with. This is serious. He ain't got wrapped up into something, y'all. I'm telling you. And he's a threat to everybody else involved. This is how they looking at it. Like he done got sloppy. And now we all is in danger. He can have us all exposed. This is how they looking at it, panicking. That's why they didn't give him no bond. They didn't give him no bond because he a threat. He's sloppy. He tied to too many people. They got to cut the umbilical cord, but they got to find everything. And they figure like he done put all his trust into his sons. Well, his sons is just some hot ass water, boy. They gonna be on the mama and the sons. They know he ain't telling the daughters nothing, but they know the sons. He made a bad mistake bringing the sons in, cause Lil Rod telling a lot about Lil Rod. You notice how none of them was in the trial? That's because they're gonna probably be in a different trial. Why wasn't Little Rod there? Because he probably gonna be in a different one. It's bigger than what y'all think. I'm gonna put it to you like that. They can't let him go home. But if they let him go home, I'll be back and trying to figure it out. I ain't gonna run away from it. So if he beat it and they throw it out, I'll definitely be back. But I won't be back quick because I'll have to think about what happened and I'll have to analyze. So I ain't gonna just jump back. I'm gonna be looking at it like, dang, he beat it, boom. I'm gonna be looking at, you know what I'm saying? If he beat the case and they let him out, it's gonna take about 2 or 3 weeks to know what's going on. It ain't no way you're gonna know what's going on that day. You're gonna have to wait till he release. You have to see how he function when he get out. You have to see what other cases might come up. You ain't gonna be able to jump to conclusion. But if I had to bet and they say, bro, you gotta bet $1,000. Do he get out or he don't? And I had to bet 1,000. I got 1,000. He's going to prison. If it was my last $1,000, I'd bet they finna slam him. Yep, they're gonna break the news. They're gonna break the internet. That's what I would bet. I bet they're gonna slam him through the floor. RJ, he was tripping. But I gotta say it again. It still wouldn't have turned out that bad if he wouldn't have started using. When he started using, that's what ruined him. All of this, he would have been able to pull it off. Might have had some little minor damage or some little leak, But it never would have turned out this bad if he didn't get addicted. After he got addicted, it was bad. Oh yeah, they going after Yo Gotti. Yeah, he can get it too. But I believe the biggest problem with Diddy is he got addicted. That he needed certain stuff to do what he was doing, and then he got addicted to the stuff. And then once he got addicted, he wasn't able to be a boss no more. All his workers started looking at him. They're going to look at you like they can run over you now. Nobody respect the height. So he lost his boss status once he was a dope fiend. And once he was a dope fiend, people like this looking at him like, shut up talking to me. You know what I'm saying? You a hype. You know what I'm saying? The women looking at him like you a hype. That's how he lost control of the women. He lost control of the women when they seen him getting high. Yeah, they started to run over him. The real reason Cassie wanted to get away from him because he became a dope fiend. They started looking at him like, yeah, you making everybody else think you Diddy, but we know you ain't nothing but a hype. You know what I'm saying? That was his downfall. So listen, brothers, don't be doing crimes. Don't be getting on substances. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't get no habits. Keep your body clean. And like respect women. Don't be hollering at women. Don't be fighting with women. Don't be putting your hands on women. Don't be getting your woman drunk. Don't be getting your woman high. You're supposed to lift the queens up. You're supposed to be the one telling her, baby, you drinking too much. Don't sit there and let her give herself breast cancer or give herself some type of cancer drinking like that. She got breasts. So too much poison will mess a woman up. A woman's breast is connected to everything. So if she smoke, she drink, all that go to her breast. That's why she can make milk come out of her. So the breast is a release point for her. So any toxins and stuff, it's going to go to your baby breast. Next thing you know, now she's going to have breast cancer. This is a fact. So it's like take care of the women, like make sure they taking care of their health. That's the future of the next good men. The next good men is going to be on some health stuff. Going to help their baby stay healthy. Not poison her. Not use it just for a sex item. You ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be saying, listen, babe, your hair, I like your hair, but them chemicals, babe, what we going to do if them chemicals give you some kind of cancer? See what I'm saying? You ain't going to be trying to hate on her, but you're going to be concerned about her health. Like, babe, I don't like them chemicals in your head. What we going to do if you get sick? Then you're going to be a statistic and they're going to hide it just like all the other statistics. And then you're going to be here with this cancer from these chemicals on your head. And then they ain't going to say nothing. And then you're going to suffer with it quietly alone. She's suffering with it quietly alone. Then the next sister get it, the next sister get it. And it'll be years before they say, oh, this is doing all this. We got to ban it. Which is a whole nother thing. Like, women, if y'all want to have that straight hair and stuff, and you know it's got chemicals and stuff in it, that's a come up. Black women get together and make some natural straight hair and get the money. Be like, we got weaves, no chemicals. That's a come up. Anytime you see something missing in the game, get you some scientists, women and stuff, and get together, put some money together, and make y'all own weave and y'all own hair. And be like, man, you can put this hair on your head. It ain't gonna do no damage. As a matter of fact, we got some hair that when you put on your head, it make your hair grow under there and eventually be able to not put it on. Like get on some, y'all black, y'all got the science gene. Y'all know how to do stuff like that. Like that woman in Africa, she making weaves from bamboo. They look good too. You know what I'm saying? On the real. Yeah, the future men gonna be on health care because with too many of us gonna be dying and getting sick and got cancer. People, brothers and sisters getting colon cancer in their 30s, man. It's gonna be a 911. Trust me when I'm telling you. It's happening now, but the news ain't tell you. But you know how it's gonna happen so much, we gonna start talking about it. Cause I know somebody in family, they just had colon cancer, they was 30. They passed away too, 30 years old, 30 some years old, like 33, 34. Colon cancer. Gone. They killing us. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. And leave them drugs alone. Yeah, I know you're looking good too. Yeah, we just trying to help the sisters, Tia. We ain't trying to down the sisters. But anytime it's something wrong, go make money off of it. That's my point, ladies. Instead of tripping over it, be like, listen, we ain't gonna make money out of it. The black woman need to be coming out with the hair, and the black woman need to be doing the hair and the toes and the nails. They ain't make that the new thing. You get your toes and nails done, you come to the sisters and get it done. You come to the sisters and get it done. It's time to change things. Like me, I'm like, I don't do barbershops, but I'm thinking, get a barbershop and a beauty shop upstairs. So the men downstairs getting their hair cut and the women upstairs and have it where they can see the women coming and going up the stairs. So now all the men gonna want to get a haircut there because that's where you can meet a woman at. Because the women is upstairs and the men is downstairs. So it ain't just a place to get your hair done, it's a place to meet somebody. I'd much rather be at a barbershop with some fine ass women going upstairs to get their hair done. Now that's the place to be. Oh my soul. Y'all take that business and run with it. Why not? You single, you looking for a woman, you looking for a man, come get your hair cut and get your hair done here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what make it exotic because them women got to go up the stairs. And trust me, if they know it's men down there at the barbershop, they're going to come in there looking good in the mug. Then they get their hair done. They're going to walk back downstairs like, ooh, wee, what's your name? Ooh, wee, what's your name? Play some Stay Pack. Had the best barbers in there and the best beauticians. And some of the barbers and beauticians will end up getting together. But I mean, it's somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Where we make our own money and get these other people out of here. These other people making all our money and they don't even know how to do the stuff the way we do it. We know how to do toes and nails and stuff ourselves. Women tell me all the time. Women tell me all the time they don't like them people speaking a foreign language when they doing their toes. They're like, listen, speak English when you're doing my toes. She here to my You're like, what did she say? Sound like she dissing me. You should demand speak English, but best better than that, get them out of here and get that money ourselves. They sending millions and millions of dollars to Korea. We sending our money to the Koreans. Oh my soul. Listen, so y'all stay positive, man. We're gonna be watching this. Who is finna be crazy, all right? And once again, make sure you go subscribe to Pharaoh Said That Live. Because I need you to be over there to go live. Pharaoh Said That Live is gonna be. Now over here, I do all the talking. I say everything. On Pharaoh Said That Live, the subscribers do all the talking. So that's gonna be wow. So all I'm doing is hosting. But I'm finna have a new channel where y'all the ones, man, it's gonna be fire. So it's not gonna be based on me. It's gonna be the total opposite of this channel. It ain't gonna be Pharaoh Said That. It's gonna be y'all said that. And that's gonna be fire. So y'all be over there arguing and debating and All that is gonna be crazy. So make sure you subscribe because we finna kick that off soon. You'll get a notice we're gonna kick it off. But yeah, go subscribe to Pharaoh Said That Live. It's gonna be the hottest thing on social media, trust me. Of the people, for the people, by the people. It's gonna be the people's platform. And it's gonna be a place where you can launch your platform. So if you're a brother or a sister, you really own something, you can come over there a lot, and then you can branch off and get your own channel. Then you can have everybody come over there and see you and build a celebrity name for yourself. Because this is the new TV. This TV. So make sure you subscribe. It's gonna be fire. Real talk. Victory.